And let's get the show started. We got Brian Arakaki. He says go to the bike, but he's the actual goat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said
Tim,
go to the bike. I'm
one,
at the bike.
2, 3 into the foe. We got Metal Doctor. We got Kelly
Who
Boone.
else at the door?
Oh,
I was finishing the line.
Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre's at your door.
Right, but
Ready to
Metal
make an
Doctor-
entrance? Oh, Metal. Oh, damn. I completely missed that. Metal Doctor, yo, do LATB casinos have good buffets? There's no buffets here, but the brewery is fire, and the food here is getting better and better. Mostafa Habib, what time does live poker start? Nothing today.
This is it. Sorry. Live poker tomorrow, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday through Friday.
And this Wednesday, you're going to be on with
Yes.
Puya.
I've got an exciting 5-5-10 game. It's 5-5, but I'm going to force everyone to straddle, so it's going to be 5-5-10 game this Wednesday. Yeah, I got some really fun people. I think it's going to be either the first or second most exciting 5-5 game ever streamed. I'm going to make that claim. The first one might have been the Mamacita de
So you're going to be 2 for 2.
Mamacita, Marley, Wino, Ramsey, Dennis, Los Pollos TV.
Yeah.
Big Al. I almost called him Weird Al. I mean, either one applies.
And
So that was the best one so far, I think. But anyway, yeah, Wednesday I got a few cool people coming on. Puya, which was random. I got him late in the game. Did not expect to, but I ran into him like a few weeks ago at the bike.
oh yeah, I saw him here.
But it started with Asian Andy, who's a prolific YouTuber. If you go check out some of his content, it's pretty over the top and funny. But saw him in the Live at the Bike chat 6-7 weeks ago, and he's got the check mark. So he was like, I think he was talking about wanting to play on the show. So I said, DM me on Twitter.
Yeah.
We started chatting there, and I'm getting him on the show this Wednesday. So I got Asian Andy, Puya,
Squints.
yeah. This guy named Chauncey Leopardi, who played the character Squints in the movie The Sandlot, which I did not see, but I heard it's kind of a big deal. Chauncey, I actually met him at a poker charity event a few weeks, or like a month or so ago, and
And then?
Oh,
And then?
lost my train of thought. I actually told him I had no clue who Squints was, but I actually told him he looked like the guy from the latest Eminem Logic music video called Homicide. I'm like, have you seen that? You look a lot like him. He's like, that is me. He's like, I'm also Squints from the Sandlot. We started talking poker. Do you want to play on Live at the Bike?
Yeah.
And he's in. So Puya, Asian Andy, Squints, Mamacita, who everybody likes to have on the stream, I think.
Her buddy.
Former guest on this podcast, Bree Asmar. She just goes by Bree, I guess.
Breezy
and the Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fame.
It's 5, and then Patrick Curran, and then
Yep. We got Big Al.
Big Al
And
/ Weird Al.
who apparently changed his Instagram name
to Gambit Poker.
Gambit Poker. Yeah.
Kinetic Card. See you, mon cher.
He's still Big Al. Big Al to me.
All right.
And then a friend of mine named Kyle. He wants to go by Raver Poker. That's his Instagram name. Kyle Raverby.
All right.
But Raver Poker. He played with me on the Instagram special game like last time I played on stream a little over a month ago.
Yeah. We got a couple hands though.
And then
That's 8. You got one more.
another friend of mine named Joe Rosenblum, who's a film editor. Kyle, actually, who I just mentioned, is also a video producer. So they're kind of friends of mine through that.
Kyle came back in time from the future to save Sarah Connor.
Did he?
From a Terminator.
Okay, I'm not well versed in the Terminator.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the lineup this Wednesday. So I'm excited.
And
about
commentating is
none other than
high quality poker vlogger Johnny Vibes, who is going to come on the
one and only.
PokerCraft podcast live. We were thinking about whether to pre-record it or do live, and Johnny's like, live, because we want to hear the chat. We want to get the call-ins.
Do it live. Do it
Yeah.
live.
We're going to do it at a future date. We're not going to pre-record it. So let's get to the questions. I know some of the more interesting stuff, but the audience doesn't know the Patrick Curran story.
All right. Well, I won't bore you with it too long, but
No, they want to hear. I want to hear it again and again.
I guess how I ended up working at Live at the Bike would be the interesting part of it, I guess, which I found this job on Craigslist, actually.
Yeah, but the story starts before that, right? In
Yes.
Vegas. Yeah, start from
Well, it
there.
starts way before that.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Okay.
I started playing online poker in 2003. 2003. Friend of mine told me you could use credit cards on Paradise Poker, so I was very excited about that. Put some money on there. Dabbled in. Oh, I've started on Yahoo Poker actually, which RIP Yahoo Poker.
Rip.
That was a great site. I loved Yahoo Poker.
All the play chips.
I actually tried to find it earlier this year, and apparently it's not there anymore. They don't have a
It's
Yahoo
just too
Poker.
gross, man.
Yeah, so on to Paradise Poker. I was dabbling in tournaments under $10, probably some penny stakes, cash games. I don't even remember really, but I do remember my dad watched the World Poker Tour on the Travel Channel back then when Gus Hansen was like the man in Antonio, holding up those two aces when he like won one of the events.
Yeah.
And Phil Ivey was crushing. So that piqued my interest. I was playing online, so I saw a satellite to WPT Foxwoods. This is in 2004. And it was the first tournament I ever played that was over $10 in a buy-in. It was $30 satellite. And I don't know how many hundreds of people there were in it, but I banked it for a 10K seat in the World Poker Finals at Foxwoods.
Sick.
It was like right at the beginning of my poker career, which that was like the kiss of death. I was hooked immediately. I feel like
Yep,
this happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, it does.
So banked right away, and I was there with like all the poker stars at Foxwoods. I remember yeah, anyway, just Negreanu, Ivy, like everybody was there. So that was
Curran.
really cool.
Curran was there.
Yeah, Patrick Curran. So then I continued to like basically, I played tournaments only and broke even for about a decade, I would say. I don't know, I didn't even track it. But I won some satellites. I went on the Party Poker Million cruise and played a 10K buy-in limit hold'em event in 2005, I think. That was so sick to play a 10 limit hold'em. MTTs are my favorite form of poker, by the way.
Are you trolling?
No, you don't find them very often. Limit hold'em tournaments.
They're actually pretty, like, they run them here at the bike, and the World Series always has, like, several of them.
They run them here at the bike. What during
Like,
circuit event?
occasionally, yeah. Because the thing is, like, you know, propping limit hold'em, a lot of those guys actually play limit hold'em tournaments. I think that they're limit hold'em good for cash, in my opinion, bad for tournaments, and they're really competitive too. Like if you look at the 10K WSOP limitless, or even the 3K or the 1.5K, I recognize like half of those names. They're like
Yeah.
mid and high stakes crushers. It does
Right.
not look good.
Like whatever the biggest buy-in limit hold'em tournament is at the World Series, it's
Yeah.
like every single big name player, and that's it.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, oh, like David Baker, like Greg DeBoer. I'm just like going down all the goat names of like limit hold'em.
In
So
my
it looks
first World
terrible.
Series of Poker in 2006, I had satellited into that main event twice actually. The second one, both on Paradise Poker. The second one being a free roll. I had already won a seat, and I played a free roll with like 550 people, one spot paying, and I took first. I remember sucking out with like pocket sixes against pocket tens, three-handed, and won a free roll for a second seat. But anyway, I was at the World Series, didn't cash in that main event. And I think it was the next year, 2007, I played the 1500 limit hold'em event, went deep, took like 22nd out of like 900 something people. I remember I played a lot with Jesse Martin in that
Oh yeah,
tournament.
Jesse Martin's another goat.
Yeah, and David Sklansky finished like 20th. Anyway, that was like a great experience.
No comment. Good book though.
The Theory of Poker.
Theory of Poker, and also
There's a new theory of updated
Advanced,
Theory of Poker version. I just noticed when I check 2+2. I check 2+2 like once every 3 months now.
Skansky Advanced Hold'em for Advanced Players. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he has a 7-card stud book. I prefer Omar Constantine's, but look, all these resources are just good to start out. I'm joking. I don't want to like.
When's your book coming out? You have a book in the works at all? A poker book?
I mean, not really. Our poker video is coming out, but
Yeah.
you know, for Live at the Bike.
Yeah.
But
Your channel's like the
B channel.
yeah, the Live at the Bike second channel basically.
it's the Wayne fan channel for sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I have a lot of stuff I want to do for Live at the Bike first. I discussed with actually Brian Arakaki the most for the last few years, and then, you know, move on. We still have to finish the Wheeze TO video. Wheeze, by the way, had a really good idea for a video for you that I was actually tempted to postpone this, but I'm just like, no, we'll just, you know, do it and then
Yeah,
then air it on a separate time.
I'm always interested in listening to what Wheeze has to say.
Yeah.
As being a professional director
He's
on
good.
the subject of videos.
I've watched like several of his films. I mean,
Wheeze?
yeah.
Shout out to Wheeze.
He might not be here. All right. We're just like, wheeze, wheeze.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
So yeah,
Sorry.
basically, uh, so I ended up going to stopping poker when Black Friday hit, pretty much. I mean, I guess I played a little bit live, but I kind of like gave it up. I had been working in corporate America that whole time as well, and then I actually enrolled in law school. I'm basically like a poor man, kind of like a poor man's Mike McDermott. In 2011, I enrolled in law school. Broke up with my significant other, actually a wife, and dropped out of law school shortly after that.
Or was it free at last? Free at last. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, law school just wasn't for me.
It's not
So,
poor man's Mike McDermott. It's live with the bikes, Mike McDermott. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So dropped out of law school, moved to Africa for 9 months because a friend, I don't know, sort of a midlife crisis. And,
So you did the Dave Chappelle?
yeah, essentially. I wanted to do something cool, and I was free to do it at that time.
Right.
So, because the business I'd been working for, slowed down in the economic slowdown of 08, 09. Ended up stopping working there, moved to Africa for 9 months. Africa was cool, but after 9 months, I was sick of it. So I came home on to go to.
Weezer isn't sick of it.
He's not sick of what?
Africa's a song by Weezer. Anyway, sorry.
There's an Africa song by Weezer?
Yeah.
I know the one by Toto.
Anyway, that was a bad one.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So came back for a bachelor party actually, and
plot
in
thickens.
Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
After
right.
being in Africa for 9 months, I went straight to Vegas for a bachelor party
Okay.
and decided not to go back to Africa. I visited Vegas a lot before that, but
There's been a lot of good calls on Live with the Bike. This is probably the best call on Live with the Bike.
yeah, I'm just
Okay.
like I'm moving to Las Vegas. Forget Africa. That was
Okay.
cool while it lasted.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even trying to necessarily play poker there, but I guess in the back of my mind, like I thought I had a talent at poker. So moving to Vegas, like the poker would be there, and maybe something could happen with that. But that wasn't the reason I moved there.
Okay.
But anyway, so after living in Vegas for like a year, I banked a deep run and a score in a tournament. So then I decided to call myself a professional poker player. When I finished third place in like the 2014 Win Summer Classic main event.
How much was that?
That was $99,833. So I'm still in search of my first six-figure score.
Okay.
But then someone who finished, so I finished third in that. One of the people who finished ahead of me, his name was Joey Weissman, really great tournament poker player. Ended up hiring him as a coach after that. Then I banked another like 47.5K score off a $500 buy-in at Planet Hollywood like 2-3 months later. So yeah, after that sealed the deal. I was definitely a professional poker player at that time. So
For sure. Yeah. 3 binks.
yeah, no, two big ones, two fairly large ones.
But the first one was a limit one, though.
Oh, that wasn't a bank, and that was 6 years before that too. That was just my first World Series of Poker score. A $7,826 cash doesn't constitute a bank. But I hear what you're saying.
It would for me.
It was cool at the time.
Okay. And then?
Oh, by the way, when I cashed in that 2007 Limit Hold'em MTT,
Yeah.
I took basically the whole buy-in and entered the World Championship of Limit Hold'em that year at the World Series, which was 5K at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like such a noob, terrible at poker, but at my table was like Annie Duke, Vanessa Russo, Max Pescatori. If you're like really into poker, you know who all these people are. And Max Pescatori has like multiple bracelets. And there was, I think Danny Wong was at the table, like
I
some
know
just
Danny, yeah.
absolute beast.
Yeah.
So that was really awesome. But yeah, so should I still go on this? This is a long ass story.
Keep going.
All right.
It's 6:15, man. We got at least an hour 15.
I know.
Keep going, man.
I can't keep this up for
Keep going.
90 minutes now. So yeah, eventually, so those scores were in late 2014, and then I started spending like a madman because I thought like, oh, I had 6 figures in my bank account, like I'm rich.
Yeah.
Bitch. And
Chappelle Show.
so I started spending like as if scores like this were going to come along like all the time because it seemed fairly easy. But So anyway, I had enough money left to play a full slate at the 2015 World Series of Poker, a full schedule of like 1Ks, 1500s, tournaments of that size.
To tone down the variance, right?
Yeah, sure, I guess. God, I missed a really interesting part of that story when I got
Go ahead.
when I got the 100K, the 99K score.
Yeah.
Like a few weeks before that, I had I entered a 1K mega satellite at the Rio for the main event, and got the 10K main event seat. And I was debating like whether to play the main event or not, and I decided to not play, sell the Lammers, get the cash, and play like 6 or 7 smaller buy-in tournaments. And I was literally down to the last buy-in when I entered that Win Summer Classic main event
Sick.
and got the big score. So like might have been my last poker tournament ever if it didn't come through.
But no, it
No?
wasn't meant
Yeah.
to be.
So now I'm still in the poker world.
So when you win those seats, does it give you like an entry to the main event, or does it give you tournament chips? Because I remember when I played the satellites there, they would give you tournament chip entries.
They called them Lammers. It was $500.
Yeah.
It was plaques basically. Like
Oh, plaques?
they were essentially plaques. They were like rectangular discs worth $500 each. That year at the World Series, that's what they were handing out.
Okay.
And
What
then
year was this?
2014.
Okay, so I mean, I was there like long before.
And then you can't get the cash. So you
have
have
to
to go.
sell 'em,
You have to
right?
go to the line where people are lining up to buy into
Yeah,
tournaments
you have
and
to
like
sell
hock
them.
them.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
like you're peddling some like
yeah, that's basically
chips at the line. It's funny.
yeah. Cause so like
I'm going up to randoms like say, hey, will you buy my $500 chips?
yeah,
And I
no,
ran into some
it was
people I
common.
knew and they ended up doing it.
Yeah, it's like that's what I don't know. So I was at the World. I don't even remember 05, 06, 07, somewhere around there. They would give out the purple $500 chips, and you can't. You can only use them to enter tournaments, which is obviously an amazing scam. But you could sell them, but you have to sell them individually with people who want to enter tournaments.
Wait,
And
what's the scam there?
not scam? It's like
I mean, yeah, they're locking you into playing the
yeah,
tournament.
they're locking you into playing the tournament. It's not.
Noobs don't know to go sell them at the line. Like they probably think you have to play.
Yeah, but I mean, like I'm playing. I was playing those sit and goes to like win them and then like for cash, like online, not like to grind and play tournaments. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I was in
it's
it
not
for
a
the
like
glory.
it's not like a literal scam. Yeah, it's just like they lock you in.
I was in it for the glory of winning the main event of the World Series of Poker on ESPN.
Yeah,
Not really trying to make.
chasing pipe dreams.
Yeah,
Because you don't have rent, alimony, child support. Right?
No.
Yeah.
I did have a mortgage payment, but no alimony, no child support.
Okay. That
So
you know of.
yeah. So I'm trying to get us caught up to like where we are now.
Don't worry,
here.
there's plenty of time. They love it.
No, I
Look,
know.
You're 12-1. It's good. Go ahead.
Refresh it.
Smash that thumbs up button. I don't need to refresh.
I'm kidding.
Smash that thumbs button for Patrick Curran, the video editor. And I
Well,
got a
the one-
present for him. Like there was a present mailed to the Bicycle and Sun Casino
Okay,
for.
wait, hold on. You did mention this present. Let
Yeah.
me get to current day, and then you
Okay.
can give it to me.
Okay.
Which will be perfect for what you're about to show.
Give it to
everyone.
me.
Yeah, so played a full schedule, and then in 2015 I played a full schedule with like the last like 30K I had to my name, and blew through a nice chunk of that, and then like about 4 weeks into the World Series, I think it was around like June 29th, I finally got a score in like a 1500 event. I finished 37th.
Wired aces or kings?
Rags. But that is funny actually. Do you know who the tournament player John Dolan is?
No, but is it the same one I see on Twitter? I see that
Maybe.
name on Twitter occasionally.
He's a big tournament player. He was like an absolute crusher throughout the 2000s.
Yeah, I see that name on Twitter. I don't know.
I think he might have final tabled the main event in the mid 2000s. But anyway, in that tournament where I finished 37th, he actually got moved to my table. There was about 37 people left. I was like hanging on for dear life for the pay jump to 36th, which looking back on it was stupid. I should have shoved a hand that I didn't because Phil Hui, who was at my table, convinced me that I should hang on for the money jump. I was still
It's a regret.
I mean not a huge regret, but every time I look back at my game like a year ago, 2 years ago, I think how bad I was in 2014, even though at the time I thought I was good. I think JJ's pinned Twitter post says something along that lines. If you didn't think you sucked at poker 6 months ago, you're not working hard enough.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I made some terrible play, like not shoving 9-10 off, or not calling off with 9-10 off when Phil Hui shoved and I was in the big blind, short stacked.
how many bigs?
less than 10.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember how the action went, but I should have played it. And then I didn't get the pay jump. I went out in 37th. Um, oh, but anyway, John Dolan had moved to my table when I wasn't quite as short stacked.
Yeah.
And right as he was coming to the table, I was all in. I don't know. I had like less than 15 big blinds. I was all in. Someone was tanking, and they folded. And then he was like putting he had I think he ended up finishing fourth in this event, but he was putting down his like racket chips and sitting down. And he got the first hand he got dealt in was the next hand. So he saw me ship the hand as he was coming to the table, and then he raises, and I looked at one ace, and I still had fold equity apparently, so I must have had like 15 big X or something maybe. I only looked at one of my cards and it was an ace. So I shipped over his open. He opened the first hand he played, and I shoved. And it's the second hand in a row he saw me shove. And he has no idea I know who he is, but he comes. The action goes back around to him. Someone I know said they might call it. We can't tell who's calling, though, can we? It's probably not them. So action pulls back around to John Dolan. He's like, he's like, did I just see you shove the hand right before this? And I said, I'm sorry, John. I don't remember.
Nice.
And the guy sitting next to him was like, your name's John, isn't it? And it was just like such money timing.
Right.
And then he folded that hand. And he ended up folding that hand. I said I only looked at one. He's like, oh, that's not good for me then. Meaning he must have had like ace nine or better, I'm thinking. But not much better because he wouldn't fold anything better. I'm thinking he had ace 10 maybe, or ace 9.
Okay.
No, he's not going to fold ace 10. I don't know what shoving and calling ranges are.
Okay.
I need to use Snap Shove next time I get back into tournaments, that app. So yeah, let's see. So I finished like 37th in that tournament, which gave me another like almost 8K to like play a few more tournaments. And then, so 37th out of like 1,605 people in that tournament or so. And then I played the Planet Hollywood Famous Poker Series main event. This is in 2014 still. Shortly after that, I made another really deep run, but went out around like 22nd for like another 7,600. So like this is right at the tail end of my poker career, basically, of playing tournaments. And I just came like super close. I finished like 37th out of 1,600 plus, and maybe 26th out of 1,600 plus, back to back, right at the end of the series. And I just missed out on like massive scores by that much, and the big score didn't come in time, and I basically had to like go get some real work or something.
Did to drive that truck?
Yeah, basically. I fell into video production and editing actually, and because some friends of mine were DJs and were in bands, so that was actually a hobby of mine before that, but I got more into that while I was in Vegas, and ended up taking it more seriously. Ended up getting a gig. A friend of mine, Oren Castro, owns a post-production company out here in LA. We've been friends for a long time before I even cared about editing or videography. And he hired me to do sound design on a scripted television series called Insomnia that the TV network Stars bought, but never released it in the U.S. It's a little dark, so I feel like maybe that's why they aren't releasing it in the U.S. yet. It's been released in other countries. It's called Insomnia. The director is Slava Yakovlev, and it's really epic in my opinion. But it's very, like I said, dark. So that it might be like too much for Showtime. Or Stars. I'm not sure. So it's not out in the U.S. But I was commuting from Vegas and getting like Airbnbs out here to work on this show. And after that gig, my first like professional gig in editing, I just decided to make the move. And then I was like, post-production is like a gig economy where you work a show a lot of times. If you're not working in-house somewhere, you work on a show and then you're out of work. And like, I was a noob to the industry, so it's not like post-production houses are banging down my door to like work on their shows. So yeah. I was out of work after that, and I was out here looking for work. I mean, and I was desperate enough to go on Craigslist looking for work. Actually, I think a lot of people might do that, but I went on Craigslist, and there was an ad for a live streaming poker show. The job was for the graphics job. I can't remember how they described it on the Craigslist ad, but
it spoke to you.
It did. Actually, another deep tournament run I had in a WSOP Circuit event in San Diego late in 2014 as well. I ended up heads up against a guy named Nile Rock, who goes by the Poker Mentor on Twitter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think he's friends with Bart and knows some
No,
people in the industry. I had no clue.
I know the name, yeah.
We got heads up in this tournament. We ended up chopping. We actually flipped, so we were heads up for a circuit ring. I didn't really care about the ring. Looking back, I would have liked to have but I was probably outskilled. So I don't. We ended up we were like even in chips, and we ended up just flipping for the ring, running a board out, like just all in call blind, and then turning it over. And he won the ring based on that. But we exchanged.
What's the worst flip of all time?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
We exchanged contact information after that. That was in 2014. Then when I ended up moving to LA, saw this job on Craigslist for a live streaming poker show. I was not paying attention to poker, and I never really watched Live at the Bike. I actually had checked it out when it first started in like 05, 06.
Yeah.
And it had like the worst video player ever on their website. It was just like hard to like watch. And I didn't play cash games, so I didn't watch it. But he said, it's probably Live at the Bike. Why don't you tweet at Ryan Feldman about this? Oh, I had applied and not heard back. And it had been like 9 days. And I like thought my resume was just absolutely perfect for this gig. Like, based on my poker background, my background in like video and film. So I tweeted at Ryan Feldman, and that led to me getting an interview and getting the job. And so yeah, I was just doing graphics at Live at the Bike for the first few months. They just so happen to need video editing work done. So I'm like, hey, I actually do this, right? Like, I don't even think they knew I was an editor for the first few months. I was just doing graphics, clicking buttons. But I showed them a sample of my work, and they're like, oh, this is great. Like, let's try and make something happen here. And here we are, hitting 100,000 subscribers on the Live at the Bike YouTube channel.
So is this where I give you the gift?
I mean, it seemed like a good segue. Well, it's not really a gift. We're going to put it up on the wall, right?
Yeah. Should we read these things here?
All right, what do we have here? Look at that. The silver play button.
Oh, shoot. This is the lighting.
I know, here. Let me see it. I've never held one of these before. Presented to Live at the Bike. They got that. Let me see if I can. There we go.
Yeah.
They got the exclamation point on there. Nice.
And we're going to read the YouTube letter. We've just done something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. You had an outstanding 100,000 people subscribed to your channel.
I think I can read this. I'll read this a little better.
Right.
It said you had an astonishing 100,000 people subscribed to your YouTube channel. We know that those numbers. Okay, I guess I'll read it. We know that those numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope that you don't lose sight of the reality behind that 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel has been touched by what you created. That means a lot to me.
Same. Yeah.
I'm touched. They were inspired, challenged, or entertained. Probably all three in the case of our channel. You achieved this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and probably a healthy sense of humor too. What you've accomplished can't be taken away from you, and we'd like to recognize you and all your hard work with this Silver Creator Award, a small token of our esteem and respect. We know that you don't do this for rewards. You do it because you have a drive to create and share, and because you found an audience who cares. Believe us when we say that we can't wait to see what you do next. 1 million subscribers may seem a long way off right now, but you're closer than you think, and we're rooting for you. Congratulations. Yours sincerely, Susan Wojcicki, I don't know, CEO of YouTube. Yeah, I don't know how you say
she's
her last
big.
name.
Anyway.
I know she's a big deal. I'm familiar with her. She's controversial. A lot of people get demonetized for seemingly no reason and stuff, but thanks, Susan. This means a lot.
Thank you, YouTube, and thank you all the staff of Live at the Bike. JJ, Weez are in the chat. Weez says, Patrick gonna cry. Sean H says, no crying, Patrick.
I wasn't even close to crying, but the way Wayne, that's so funny. I was thinking, the way Wayne was looking at me, he wanted me to cry.
Kind of. I mean, I think we'll smash that like button. Look, we're 24-1, man.
All good interviewers.
Shout out to Patrick Curran. Yeah.
All good interviewers want their guests to cry. It makes for good, good TV or good live streaming. This is pretty cool, though. Yeah. I think 100K, like, a lot of people have 100K. I mean, it's very exciting. I mean, I feel like it was a long time coming. We definitely should have at least 100K subscribers.
Oh, the vote says congratulations, 100,000K. Good buddy. Upswinging.
100,000K. That's what I want to get to. That would be like 100 million.
We'll get there.
Or something.
upswinging JJ De La Garza. Thank you, Patrick, and everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
Louise says, Patrick, speech, speech, speech.
I mean, I'd love to take credit for this. When I took over the channel, I had 22,500 subs. It's funny. The first video I put out was a Will Kassouf slow roll, and it just blew up like right away. I thought it was going to be so easy. Oh yeah, Wayne was in that hand, joke betting with Jack High. It was.
I had to try.
Yeah,
Snuck in there like a boss.
He was leading. He led 2 streets into a full house and quads. He was first to act, and he had. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, snuck in that video like a boss. It's just like Phil Locke in that Durr versus Ivy hand where Ivy has a pair of sixes and Durr's just bluffing. Phil Locke started that.
Ace 6 of diamonds and Durr has 8-9 of spades or something.
Yeah.
Locke is in that hand.
Yeah, he started off. He just raises ace-9 off under the gun.
Oh, okay.
And he folds to the squeeze.
And then did he say like, "Oh, I'm going to let you boys do battle" or something when he
something
folded?
like yeah.
I watched that hand a few weeks ago again.
Yeah, and you forgot he was in there.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, Phil Locke's a big fan of your work because I talked to him like I don't even know by now, like a year and a half ago, and then he specifically said he's just like, yeah, the YouTube videos are great. I'm like, yeah, it's Patrick Curran.
That's cool. I appreciate that. I fanboyed out on him once, and not really. I just approached him here at the bike, and I'm like, when are you going to come on live at the bike? I'm like, I do the videos. I knew he knew Wayne. He's like, oh, I like when you put the little names on there, so I know who is who. Because like, depending on the video, sometimes when it's players that the audience isn't as familiar with, you can't really if you're not like super well versed in watching live at the bike, you don't know who is who. Unless you're already familiar with characters. Like the camera.
Who's who.
Yeah, who is who? He destroyed a huge cash game. Mysterious player that guy is.
Anyway, back to the...
Yeah, I can't take full credit. Although, so when I took over, it had 22.5K subs. We're at 105K now. But the highlight videos are a big part of the YouTube channel, but our live streams run on YouTube as well. So people obviously subscribe to get notified when our streams go live. So that is a huge reason why we have as many subscribers as we do also. So it's a combination of the live streams plus the highlights.
And the awesome graphics engineer.
Yeah, I get recognized.
Curran.
You guys constantly like refer to me as a graphics engineer, but what I really do is I'm a video editor.
I will change it.
No, it's fine. I mean, you can call me a graphics engineer. It's pretty funny, actually. I was a graphics guy. I've been upgraded, thanks to JJ, to graphics engineer. It's kind of like instead of being a janitor, being a custodial engineer. But, I'll take it. So, yeah.
Okay. Video editor. Yeah, well.
Yeah. Oh, and just to let people know, I guess I kind of want people to know this. Most of the work I do is on the sound. It's sound editing. So, like, you don't even know that I'm doing this work because it just sounds normal to you. But I am.
I know. You tell me.
A lot of times the commentators are at a good level, but, like, and it's hard from a technical standpoint with a live stream to have it all perfect. So I like to tweak it in post-production where I'll bring the table volume up and the commentator up or down, audio levels up or down, depending on if they're screaming about something exciting that just happened or talking like we're on the 16th hole at Augusta. You have to change the levels. So most of the work I do is sound design. The video I put out today of it, that hand is ridiculous, by the way. Did you see that live by chance, or did you see the video?
I don't think I saw. I've been.
Did you know what the video is?
No. I don't know.
Garrett had pocket aces. Nick Marchington, WSOP 7th place finisher this year, had pocket kings. Marchington 3-bet, Garrett flatted in position with aces, and the flop came king high. Let's just say Garrett got there when an ace peeled off on the river. For aces, a set of aces over a set of kings. It was a third club. It was a backdoor clubs got there, but there was Marchington only a half-size pot bet. He had like 15.2K back, and a pot was about 30K. So he wasn't going anywhere. And so Garrett, it was very similar to that hand on Poker After Dark
with
between Berkey. Yeah, Berkey flopped a set of kings, and in that hand, Garrett turned a set of aces. Right?
Yeah.
Here he rivered it.
Yeah.
But it was just insane. Like on its surface, yeah, it's like a bad beat and a sick run out, whatever. But when it was going down live, and I was back here doing graphics with Brian during the taping, like it was the most insane thing I've ever seen. Because like Garrett just has some of the most miraculous things happen to him in big hands on streams, and when that ace came, I just could not believe it, like that it happened again.
You can't believe what fell.
All Marchington's dreams
Down the
down the
freaking
drain.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. Put that video out today, actually.
No, I saw the alert. I will definitely, I watch all of them and
Yeah,
put in funny comments.
for sure.
But
Give your comments.
I can't always like click on them when they're out right away.
No, sure. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about
Yeah.
that hand. I just dropped that video today. And,
So the other stuff too, because
crazy.
I noticed, because Patrick will smooth out some of the things that we say, because I will like forget to say something, and then when I play the video on the hand of the day, I'm like, I knew I forgot to say it during the stream, and then Patrick adds in me saying the right thing or something.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
mess with the. Don't tell the why. These are our like OGs in the chat here, so
Yeah.
I'll tell them, but don't tell everyone else on YouTube. But like sometimes I'll take the commentary and take out stutters or misspeaks or just stuff that I don't know, just to make it sound cleaner. I'll take things out, and then I'll take like chip shuffling noise from a different part of the show and put it in where that commentary was, so it just sounds like there's no commentary there to fix little things. So like go listen to today's. JJ did an awesome job commentating Friday. I love the way he commentates.
Me too.
But if you go listen to today's YouTube video, he's like the perfect commentator, as he is in most of the YouTube videos I put out, because any small little like anything that I just smooth it out and make it absolutely perfect. So I spend way too much time and I'm way too meticulous doing that. Actually,
I appreciate it, obviously, but yeah, like it's a team effort back here. So it's like when people give me props, I'm always like, dude, like JJ runs the stuff, Patrick, Brian, Evelyn, like just there's so much going on here. So I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it's all me.
we said how often do you have to edit my commentary? I mean, when you're commentating on a highlight video, pretty often.
I mean,
Nah, just little things. I mean, it's not absolutely necessary. We'd probably be fine. We'd be just fine without this, but it's just improves the quality a lot. And
there's one that I caught like in your video with Mamacita, like I'm naming all the players and then
oh, yeah, I took
I'm
that
not-
from a totally different part of the show,
Yeah.
and put that at the beginning of that hand,
Right.
so it just sounds like
yeah, but
perfect.
even then, like because Los Pollos TV came late, so I called out the names in the beginning of the show, and you must have taken the one late, because
Yeah.
like when I'm watching it, I'm like I know because I know what I did, and a lot of times when I screw up hands, like I
Exactly.
know, and when Patrick fixes it, I'm like, oh thank God,
Yep. I did
and
do
then
that.
Jake put joke bet.
So you want to talk about hands?
Yeah,
I don't need to. Like my hands aren't the hands I played on live at the bike.
Oh no, they're good. You're the seven. You and Candy are the seven deuce masters for sure. I got a lot of
I mean,
your seven deuce action.
Gil the plumber's up there as well.
Yeah, but
He made a full house with 7 deuce against Jamie.
yeah, but he
Gold's
had to
nut
make
flush.
it like making a hand is like not as exciting as just getting
That's
somebody
true.
to fold.
He did, but that was a sick video.
It is.
It's called Jamie Gold's flush goes down the drain.
Yeah.
And Gil made runner boat.
What did you think of? Because he got
Seven
some
deuce.
flack from the YouTube comments.
Yeah. I
What
don't
do you
know.
think?
Weird thing. The banter is always like interesting when Jamie is involved. So Gil and him got in a little tiff where
I mean, yeah, from like he called in and he said like they're friends, and there's banter.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it's just like yeah, if you're friends or you know each other, then there's going to be an extra level. Judging by the video live, it didn't look like Jamie.
cared for Gil all that much.
Yeah, I mean, just like yeah, he was just like, "What are you doing?" But I
Yeah.
mean, they play.
Oh yeah, Gil was like, you have to call because Jamie was getting an insane price, but it was a situation where like, knowing what a great price it is, would Gil ever be bluffing?
Yeah.
Doing this without the nuts because
Right.
he has no fold equity.
Right.
So sometimes in those situations,
It's like the
you
most.
can fold, I guess.
Yeah.
Even getting because you're getting such a sick price.
It's just
but
impossible to be a bluff.
the one time in 2014, I played the World Series. Oh, it was 2015. I was working in Vegas actually, and I was able to play the casino employees event. And there was a spot exactly like where we're describing, where like no way would a guy shove over my turn bet here
Yeah.
with a bluff because he had very little fold equity. It appeared to like there's no way I'm folding.
Yeah.
So I folded because it was one of those situations,
And
and
then-
he was bluffing.
Yeah.
So-
It's it like.
So basically, if you're getting a sick price, I mean, I'm just calling almost in all those situations.
Yeah, I mean, we would be surprised. I mean, the thing is, like, you would have to know the other person too, and just like know that if like somebody's a veteran, strategically sound, would just like never. But if it's like a stranger, you're just like, I don't know, man. You're getting like 22 to 1.
Yeah. It turned out the guy worked at the Bellagio Sportsbook.
Mm-hmm.
It was a casino employees event. So when I told my friend the hand history later, he's like, if someone works at a sports book, like, you got to just call them, like, because they're probably a gambler and might be full of shit. I don't know. I had a super weak hand. Due to the coaching I got from Joey Weissman, the antes were involved. So your opening range has changed based on antes or not. And like, I opened the button with queen six of clubs, and he was in the big blind, and flopped like middle pair, which became third pair, and somehow, folded to a shove for very little more. And
But you've gotten better to live reads, which we're going to see in your videos.
I'm not of the school of thought that live reads are something you should base your poker strategy around.
Well, here's the thing. Like, live reads...
But they just happen. Like, you see something, and you're like, whoa, okay, this changes everything.
I was going to talk about this on a future, like, solo show. The way live reads, it's not the way, like, Hollywood does it. So, first of all, the lower the stakes and the less experienced the player, they're going to have more reliable tells. Then even in the mid stakes, they start disappearing. In high stakes, people start doing reverse tells and just like masking them really well.
Yeah, I try not to play with good players, so I don't know what that's like.
It's very difficult.
Sure.
And what happens is, back in the day, especially when you're not playing camera, when people from LA or the Bay travel to Vegas and they're unknowns but they're competent players, they're able to pull off some stuff. For example, if it's like, you call from the big blind, and you call...
Am I 5 on the board here?
No, you're 2.
Okay. I want to cough. I'm muting myself.
So, say you defend from the big blind, and the flop's king 6-6, and they c-bet, which,
We're talking a cash game, right?
Yeah, a cash game. They c-bet, which is 99% they're going to do, and it's correct. You check raise.
What position are they in?
They raise and you defend from the big blind.
Okay, from wherever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But if you're an unknown and you face a check raise on king 6-6, you're like... After you c-bet, you're going to fold.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't have at least, I don't even know,
right.
like even king queen, or if the guy triple barrels.
From what I've gathered, based on Pile Solver, there's on a flop like that with a paired board, the big blind check raise, like solvers tell a big blind to check raise there with like a way wider range of hands.
Sure.
Than
I
had initially thought.
I don't know what the number is, but the thing is, if you are from out of town and you're going to Vegas, the Vegas player pro/default move is to just fold to the check raise on the flop or on the turn. Mm-hmm. And if you're an unknown, which if like out in LA and the Bay, they would know me, but in Vegas, they didn't know me for like a long time.
From Diego to the Bay?
Yeah, it's all good from Diego to the Bay. And yeah, so you could pull off that stuff, but now, I've been complaining. I complained to Jerry too. Like, I'm unknown, like when I do a bluff in some spot, even if it's like whatever, it's definitely well constructed, and like I'm like announcing, and their chips are in there. Like, it's already happened on the show on just like the most ridiculous ones. I go back and look at the footage. I'm like, I definitely did not do anything. It's definitely like because it's me. Yeah. Just no one else. It would anybody else. It would have to get through. So
when are you going to get back on the show? I haven't seen you play in a while.
I was on a couple months ago. I mean, I don't mind. It's just like JJ and I tend to give other people the slots because like there's so much demand, and like we get countless contacts of like, oh, when can I be on the show? So we're like, okay, well,
Yeah, I know. It started happening to me since I was organizing this game Wednesday.
Yeah, you're going to get an overload of people who want to play on, and it kind of sucks to be like, oh yeah, you can. And then often
it's hard. Yeah.
I
don't like telling people no.
Right, exactly, and it's just like. At some point, there's going to be an overload of regs, and regs get priority because, 1, they show up on time, 2, the fans love them, and 3, they're just like good people. Yeah. But then when you have 10
fans
regs...
love all our regs. They never criticize them in chat or call them donkeys or anything. It's just all love. They love to have something to talk about.
Right.
They give them something to talk about.
Yeah, let's give them something to talk about. Anyway, when you have 10 regs, then obviously... There's only 9 seats. Somebody has to get snubbed. And that's just 10. Like, sometimes there's, like, 15 regs that want to play in the same show.
Yeah.
So, like, when that happens, talks at the meeting. Yeah, it's tough. So.
Yeah. I know we have one reg who's a crusher who's been a big part of Live at the Bike that finds it hard to get on shows lately because he's probably too good. But he did get on last Friday. But, yeah, he's a victim of that,
Sure.
Unavoidable circumstance. His name might start with an A His initials might be AP.
It's funny because AP
Who once won $100,000 in an hour.
Was it 200?
No, in 1 hour.
Oh, 1 hour.
The
Okay.
YouTube video. We're talking about Art Papazian. The YouTube video is.
Oh, just blow his cover.
It's not his car.
I'm just kidding.
The YouTube video is zero to 100,000. No, it's not 0 to 100,000 real.
I could have swore it was 200.
No, in the show he won
Oh,
235K.
for the show. Okay.
But one of
okay.
the YouTube videos we put out was $100,000 in 1 hour.
0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
I proposed that title, something along those lines to Feldman. He's like $100,000 in 1 hour. I'm like, all right, which was good. That was one of our most successful videos at the time. Still is super successful. I think it has like 250K.
Who edited it?
I edited it. I did.
I'm just like setting you up.
Feldman titled it $100,000 in 1 hour, and yeah, he won 200. He ran 20K to two. I believe he ran 20K to 234K in that show. So I think he won 214K. Something in that ballpark.
See, he's representing the 214, not the 213.
I guess. I mean, give or take $1,000. Who's counting?
So
Yeah.
you were in Vegas.
That was
Do you
a
have-
memorable session, by the way. That one where Art
Yeah. I know.
just destroyed.
Destroyed.
One of the most memorable ones.
You
Yeah.
must have crazy stories working in Vegas.
Crazy stories. I mean, yeah. I don't know if I want to get into them though. I don't know. When I was living in the, I'll just tell like
Okay.
when I was living, I didn't have a job for the first 8 months I lived there. Like I came very close to like getting a job I wanted, but I wasn't just looking for any job. Like, well, I wanted to like my thinking going in was like I was gonna work in nightlife because partying for a living sounded like fun. That was all I was thinking coming in. So anyway, it turns out the nightlife industry works a lot differently and it was a little bit harder for me to navigate than I thought going in. So I didn't get any of the jobs I was interested in, and I wasn't working for 8 months. And I had applied to basically every job like Encore and Wynn had to offer, even at the casino. And since I didn't have a job, there was like all this pressure on me to get a job. My like parents were like, "What the hell are you doing with your life?" And one of the jobs I had applied for at Wynn was Encore Beach Club security. Having no idea, never been a security guard, and having no idea. Now I know I would never want to be a security guard, but anyway, I didn't know what I was getting into, and they actually shows you how in demand a job this was. I was not showing up for the interviews, just blowing them off completely, and they kept emailing me saying like, "Come in for the next one." Like, what kind of job does that? The jobs I want are ones that there's tons of more people fighting for the job than are spots available. But here, they kept following up as I kept blowing it off. So I'm like, fine, all right. I went in, and like, as soon as I walked in, I don't know. Hopefully there aren't any. Well, as soon as I walked.
Go ahead.
As soon as I walked in and saw some of the people that were security guards there,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell
Are you doing
am
that?
I getting into? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. But anyway, I went in. I'm like, screw it. I'll just see what's going on here. Encore Beach Club is like a great place. It was also Surrender nightclub at the time at night. Now it's been rebranded as Encore Beach Club at night. But a friend of mine is a resident DJ there. He opens and closes all the time. Esteban Carrasco, shout out to you, although I know you're not watching. So yeah, I took the job. So on day one, they are like, you know what? You don't have any security experience. We're gonna stick you in the DJ booth. So I'm like, all right. And like, I don't know who was DJing like the first day. It might have been like David Guetta or like Avicii or.
Oh,
I ended
just
up,
some no names.
I can't remember
I'm
the
just kidding.
first day. Maybe it probably wasn't a name as big as that, but like the next day, I was in there with David Guetta, and like all these like sick DJs. So basically, it was like the easiest job in the world. Although it did suck for the first 2-3 hours of the day. I would have to do bag check at the front entrance, where you literally have to like make sure no one's bringing drugs or anything in, or alcohol or just anything.
Oh, but in Vegas, there's no drugs.
So that was a really pretty demeaning job, actually, because if I'd see friends from home that were like really successful people, I'd be there like doing a security check at the front door. But the payoff was that if I would do that for 2-3 hours to start the day. We'd open at like 10:30 in the morning. Once it got to be 1:30 p.m., the main DJ, the headliner, would be going on at 3, but I would move to the DJ booth at like 1:30 in the afternoon. So I basically had the best seat possible for all these epic DJ shows that basically what I like to consider was like probably the height of like the EDM boom. It's still pretty big now, but then it was just
Sure.
massive. Like Zed was a resident at Encore Beach Club, so I was backstage like from me to you with like Zed, David Guetta, Avicii,
Rest in peace. Avicii.
Diplo, and all these other random acts, Macklemore, uh, Red Foo. What's the band? What group is he from?
I don't know.
Girl, look at that body,
Oh,
big afro.
yeah. I work out.
Yeah, lots. Yeah, exactly that song. LMFAO was.
Yeah.
He's Barry Gordy's son, of some legendary record producer. But anyway, yeah. So I basically had a backstage pass to all these like awesome shows in Vegas, and then I had a tournament score and stopped working at that job. So I became a professional poker player.
You went
But,
pro.
Yeah, I turned pro. It
Well,
was really cool to like have a couple tournament scores, have a bunch of cash in the bank, and just like have nothing that you are required to do any day. Like that is the absolute dream. It was
That's
like so relaxing. Like as soon as I made that score,
yeah.
and then the next one, like all the pressure, like came off me that I had of looking for a job and then working a crappy job and boom. But unfortunately, I don't think tournaments are a sustainable form of income
Just huge
to
variance.
live well off of.
Yeah. And the way the taxes work, it's tough because it's like you make a big score, you got to pay the taxes.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I paid like, I ended up paying like $30-some thousand in taxes. Yeah. Hope the IRS isn't watching in 2014, and then the next year I lost in 2015. But of course, I didn't get a refund. I didn't get paid. Yeah. So basically, if you win $100,000 one year, say you pay 30 grand in taxes, you lose $100,000 the next year, you're even on poker, but you're down $30,000 because of the taxes you paid the year before. It's ridiculous that like arbitrary point in time, December 31st, cuts off your results, and then a year is a short period of time in the tournament as far as tournament sample size go.
Yeah.
So you just get screwed on taxes. So basically, it's like the most like the concept of attorney pro like is just laughable to me. Yeah, but I wanted to do it and I thought it was feasible for a while. Turns out it's not, except for like a select few. And the number one skill, in my opinion, in playing tournaments is selling action at as big a markup as you can. Shout out to Johnny Vibes. I totally support people asking whatever price they want to get.
Sure.
If people are willing to pay it. Like, for people to criticize that, I compared it to like used car sales. If someone gets ripped off buying a used car because they didn't know the value of it, is that immoral? Like,
It's more than that. I mean, Johnny Vibes has fans, and if somebody wants to, have a
nobody's
slight,
forcing them to buy it. I mean, it's the most stupid argument. There isn't even an argument. It's not even a debate. Anyone who's saying it's immoral.
The argument was that supposedly, and I don't really know the full scoop, but I've talked to people, and the argument is that it's like whether it was a good deal or not.
Yeah.
And,
Well, same applies to buying a used car.
Okay.
Buyer beware.
Yeah, but the people who said it was like it couldn't be / wasn't a good deal, that was their argument. So
Right. So if that were the case, then the car won't sell, and the tournament action won't sell.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. I'm totally for you. Do whatever the hell you want.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Free market, laissez-faire, or something.
So,
I took a few economics classes once upon a time. That was all my knowledge right there.
well, my degree's in economics. I don't know anything.
Really?
Well, no, that's not true. But I just like
Your degree is in economics?
it is, but like I'm so much more versed in many other subject matters.
But weren't you a programmer?
I started
Or
computer
co-
science.
yeah.
Well, I coded during the dot-com boom, and then the thing is, it's like it was such and it
Hashtag
still is,
learn to code.
huh?
Nothing. Learn to code. I need to learn to code.
I like Andrew Yang says this too. I don't. It's just like kind of ridiculous to say learn to code, learn to code. Like there are really freaking smart people out there, like 10x coders, 3x coders, 2x coders, 1x coder. In my peak condition, I'll be a 1x coder, but I know the existence of these 2x, 3x, 10x people. I'm just like, I'm in a luxury position that I could actually do other things, so it just seemed unwise to force myself in that direction. But again, it's arguable. But anyway, during the dot-com boom, it's like it happened around 1995. So whatever age you were at that time, there were decisions you can make. Same thing with the moneymaker boom. Like if you made certain decisions, then it affected like a lot of runouts and a lot of outcomes. So you see a lot of these super rich and super successful people in the tech industry. They were around 25 when the boom, when the dot-com boom happened and the internet came out. So they were at a crucial time where they could like leave graduate school
Yeah.
and just like take a risk. So if you were in that age,
I was 20 in like 1998. If I were a little bit older,
then there was a
feel like-
window. Yeah, there was a window. And this goes to like Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers book. Like if certain things happen, then it's like not a guarantee, but it raises the chance.
if I was a
that
little bit
something else-
older, I would have known to put it all into Amazon stock
Google.
options and leverage myself to the hilt and hold it until now. And then
And
I'd
then-
be worth like almost as much as Jeff Bezos. But I didn't do that. Instead, I sold Amazon at $77 in 2000 and
that was
never
like
bought it back.
not, yeah.
I mean, I never would have. Just like with Bitcoin, like if you're up as a ton, you're like, it's so hard to buy. I mean, it's pure luck to buy it at the bottom and sell it at the absolute peak.
Yeah,
like
it's
impossible.
just
if you bought Bitcoin at $1, when it got to $3,000, you'd probably be like, "Oh my God, this is insane! I'm gonna unload some of it." And then it went to 20,000. It's like,
like people study some like say currency trading, stocks, like futures. There's a lot of stuff like people commit their lives to like maximizing, and
yeah.
it's
But just to like time the bottom and top is luck.
yeah, it's really yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about the subject matter to keep talking, but keep up to it. But anyway, about the coding background, it's like I started UC San Diego as computer science. My mom got ill, and I just like got really depressed, and like it was just a maturity jump, and I just didn't have the heart to finish computer science just to finish it for them. So I was paying with my I was playing poker and paying for it. I didn't drop out. I'm Asian. I got to complete.
But you switched to
I switched to
economics?
econ. Yeah, I could have had like 4 minors. I could have had a minor in math, Chinese, and econ if I can, or computer science, whatever. I could have gone 4
It's so
different
unfair
directions.
that you can take Chinese and just ace it. I already know.
No, I
probably.
failed the proficiency exam. Like
Oh,
the
really?
tester, the guy testing me, like laughed at me, and he was just like, "Did you think you were good?" And I was like, "Oh."
So you didn't grow up speaking it?
I did, but Chinese is a very difficult language.
So you had an edge.
Yeah, I had. It's. I'm not coming from scratch, but Chinese is one of the least practical languages to
Really?
like design.
Foreign languages are just not my thing. Whatever part of the brain that is, it's just terrible for me. Like I couldn't even learn Spanish. I probably could have if I wanted to, but I didn't realize how useful it would be now. Way back when.
Well,
Maybe living
I don't want to
LA.
get in my college life, but basically, I could
Yeah.
have majored in 4 different things and minored in 3 of them, and econ was the fastest way to finish, and
Yeah.
it just got out of there. And I contemplate going to grad school. I got interviewed twice at the screenwriting MFA program in UCLA, and just one of my mentors said, "Dude, if you make it, it's not because of UCLA's MFA program. I mean, it's obviously highly prestigious, and they say it's harder to get into there than Harvard Med School." Which, sure,
Really?
sales pitch. That's what they say, but
So how close were you?
I would.
Is
I
it
mean,
50-50? You either get accepted or you don't?
No. Usually people get in the second time after they get interviewed. Sometimes it's 2 interviews and then you get in the next year. I mean, it's never a guarantee, but it's just like you have a very high chance.
Yeah.
So, but
How can you have a very high chance if it's as hard to get into as Harvard Med School?
what do you mean?
How can you have a very high chance of getting in?
Because I got interviewed the 2 years before. Usually they accept about half the
to land
interviewers.
an interview is one step in the achievement in the process.
Yeah,
Okay.
like people who get interviewed and if they don't get in, they're essentially the next class that gets in.
Mm-hmm. Like by landing this interview right here, I feel like I've achieved something.
Well, you know what happened to Melody? He was on PokerCraft and he gets on Joe Rogan. So
I
I'll see
know.
you and Joe Rogan next week.
PokerCraft apparently is a
It's a
stepping
jump
stone.
starter, yeah.
Stepping stone to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah,
so.
you know, Joe Rogan's out there. He's like, Wayne's got some good guests. Let me get him on the show.
That was a pretty good Joe Rogan impersonation.
Oh, he had John Carmack on, and I guess he also name dropped Thresh about esports and stuff. And, I don't want to
Who's
rip.
John Carmack?
He programmed Quake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Duh.
one, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, it's not a big that thing. It's just like I'm from the gaming world, so a lot of names that are famous to me, and I don't blame people if you're not in the industry. Of course, you're not going to know these people,
Yeah.
but it sucks a little bit, and it hurts that it like the public's not that educated about some stuff, and I kind of take for granted like poker, chess, the movie industry, the tech industry, some generic things are just like kind of put out there. So there's like some general knowledge that's easier to converse with, I don't know, a normal person not that into the subject.
Speaking of gaming, I heard Ninja just left Twitch to go to a Microsoft-owned streaming platform called what?
I don't know.
Oh, you're not familiar with this?
No. I mean, I know who he is. I know,
Yeah.
the dance and all that stuff, but
I don't know the dance, but I just know Ninja just left to go to a Microsoft-owned streaming platform. Just left Twitch.
yeah.
And Twitch was very spiteful, I guess, and some
Sure.
things happened anyway.
It's really competitive, like this stuff, and
He's like the only professional gamer I know, besides Wayne Chiang.
former, no. Back then, I could have gone.
Ninja and
gaming route.
D22 So-So Wayne Chiang. I finally, after 2 years, know what his screen name is. D22 where's the underscore?
It's a hyphen, but a lot of gaming names don't allow hyphens anymore, so I just do T22 so-so.
Okay.
Yeah.
D22 So-So underscore Wayne Chung.
No, now I just fully do it, or D22 so-so Wayne Chung, but
Wayne
Twitter.
Wayne Chang Poker on YouTube. That's all you need
sure,
to know.
yeah.
Wayne Chang Poker.
We're gonna be doing a lot more stuff on Live at the Bike and Poker, so stay tuned. I'm really excited for the up and coming stuff.
Yeah. Maybe Wayne Chang can get one of these at some point. It'd be funny if you did get one based on posting all Live at the Bike videos.
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, it's hard, right, with the reflections. We are both big Rounders fans, right?
Yeah, good movie. The
What do you-
1998 Famke Janssen flick,
Slash Jean Grey slash
Gretchen Mol
yeah.
movie about
Famke has been in so much
truck
stuff since
driving
then.
and
She was
delivery.
in Taken too.
Who was Famke Janssen?
Yeah, in Taken.
Really?
Yeah.
The first? Okay, yeah. I saw
I mean,
the
she's
sequel
probably
to
in the
that.
sequels too.
Was it called Taken 2? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I saw one of them.
Patrick Curran has a unique set of skills. No.
Taken reference?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Did you see The
let's just-
Accountant? That's kind of similar. Ben Affleck
Ben Affleck. No, I watched the beginning.
has like a
yeah.
military skill.
Yeah.
An accountant with military skills.
Yeah.
It was a good movie, just totally bizarre. I don't know. Taken kind of reminded me.
It was critically acclaimed.
I think someone was taken in that movie, and he had to get him back or something. Can't remember exactly.
Anyway, back to Rounders. Favorite
Yeah.
scenes.
Favorite scenes in Rounders. So many quotable, like amazing scenes. I mean, the whole thing. I don't know if I can pick just one. I don't know. The opening scene. I had an idea for. I mean, it was my original idea, but I had this idea like a decade ago for how Rounders 2 should start off. Well, it's very ridiculous in the beginning so the first hand when Matt Damon loses like his life roll to Teddy KGB,
That was the most realistic scene.
he could have just flat called for half his life roll with the second nuts. Instead, he shoved it all in. When your life is on the line, I would just call there. What about you?
I don't know what to say, man.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know, but
If
I'm
you
not gonna lie.
If you had nines full of aces there, and he bets 15K, you have 30K
Aces
back,
full of nines
and
and-
that's
oh,
all
and
the
nines
money
full
you
of
have
aces,
in your entire life. You have nines full of aces, ace 9 on 9-9 ace with 3 spades. He bets 15K into you. You have 30K.
KGB flatted
Are you
pre.
going to call?
In 1998, if you flat pre in the
There's
big
no
blind,
way he has aces.
There's no way he has aces.
So Damon opened on the button, and he just
yeah,
called.
ace 9 of clubs. KGB just called with ace in the big blind. Back in
It
1998.
came ace 9-8, 2 spades.
Yes.
Then, or 2 hearts? Because he
Two
goes, there's my
s-
money card, the 9 of hearts.
No.
Oh, on the river.
Yeah.
The spade
It's 2
came on the
spades,
turn.
and the river was a 3 of spades. It was a 9 of hearts on the turn and the 3 of spades on the river.
Okay, his money card to give him nines full.
Yeah.
Anyway, he jammed his whole 30K in with the second nuts and lost to the nuts and had to go drive a truck. for a
Yeah,
living.
maybe in 2019 I might not do that, but I might have done some similar things earlier in my career.
Well, Matt Damon goes, yeah, I'm going to go all in because I don't think you got the spades.
Yeah.
And
Which is a really fishy table talk, but it's a movie.
in part 2, there needs to be a scene. Maybe it takes place online even. No, because online poker is dead now. It'll take place on Live at the Bike is where it should take place.
That's what I'm talking about.
But Matt Damon, he needs to have pocket nines there for quads.
yeah.
That reminds me of the Andy Jackie 439K pot hand.
Yeah.
But he needs to have quads there. And when And then KGB's all smug like he has the stone nuts, which he doesn't.
Yeah.
Pocket nines beats him.
Yeah.
He's like, ace is full, Mike.
Yeah,
And he'll
but
be
with
like,
the
quad nines.
but with the
bitch.
table talk, aces full should be good.
Yeah.
If somebody says,
If
I'm gonna
it's-
go all in because I don't think you have the spades, you can be pretty sure that your aces full is good.
Why? You should do that with quads too. Balance.
Could,
All about
but I
balance.
mean, there's some like, I don't know.
Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
I want him to have quads in a situation like that.
Yeah.
And then just go on a sick heater. Like, Garrett, you could base this on Garrett kind of too, maybe. We could use him as inspiration. For the show.
Sure, and then he's like, I'm Gary Adelson, I have the nuts.
No, it doesn't have to
Yeah,
really
it's-
be him, just based on how insane he runs. And
Sure.
yeah,
So,
that's my idea for rounders too.
all right.
Favorite scenes though, it's probably that first scene when they go play the municipal workers game. They go play a bunch of cops and they're cheating and get found out and beaten up.
When Mike McDermott's rolled up kings, because I play stud.
Is that with the sevens? The hand they
No,
get
no,
busted
no.
on?
He has two.
Oh, and he folds it.
He
folds
folds
the
a
case
rolled
on
up
him.
king. I was like, and then Ozzy's like, I bet what I have. I raise. It's an ace. So yes,
Ozzy
aces.
is one of
Yeah.
the cops in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome scene.
What you tell Ozzy 3-6 like?
When they meet at Atlantic City,
Yeah.
when Worm and Matt Damon, Edward Norton and Matt Damon roll up to Atlantic City and happen to see everyone from the Chesterfield South
Yeah.
sitting at the table,
If we want to take each other's roles,
we could have just stayed home.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Don't do us any favor." They're gonna sit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kanish was gonna go to a different table.
Yeah.
So I think he was game selecting.
Yeah.
And he was gonna go to a different table, but in honor of Mike's alley like return to the ring,
Yeah.
he was gonna stay and play with them for a while, and then
Yeah.
Famke Janssen goes, "Don't do us any favors, Kanish. We're
Yeah.
about to go to the board to fill these seats."
Yeah. It's
That's one of my favorite parts too. There's just so many I could go on and on.
yeah.
When she made off with when Gretchen Mol made off with his sheets.
I like hand reading. Like poker movies are notorious for having bad poker hands, but as we've seen on Live at the Bike, there's a lot of nutty poker hands.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's I was thinking about that on the way today. Like after posting this video today, where Garrett
yeah.
rivered 3 aces.
If this happened in a movie, that never happens. This is so BS. I'm like, all right, we just
I know,
got it.
yeah. We just have so many hours of content that like we just get sick hands. Like
Yeah, it just
basically every
just
week.
happened because it's like even outside, you just see the most obscene stuff.
Yeah, I saw someone flop a royal flush in a 5-5 game I was playing like one of my 2 sessions ago. Just a random story about how. So Wednesday I have this awesome game planned, right?
Yeah.
With Asian Andy, Puya,
Yeah.
Squints from the Sandlot, Mamacita, Bree, Big Al, Raver Poker, and Joe Rosenblum.
And Johnny Vibes commentating.
Johnny Vibes on commentary.
Yeah.
Can't forget that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He commentated another game I played. Love him on commentary.
Was it the golf pro game?
No, it was Big Al's game where I one hands with like 7. It's the YouTube video is called Maniac Gets Trapped. Him and Taylor Carroll commentated that game. It's pretty funny. Some of you guys probably know when I jammed 4,000 into a $1,300 pot with a draw versus pocket aces and got cash money to fold pocket aces. I'm gonna make a confession here. I didn't know exactly how deep. Were you gonna play that hand or no?
I think so.
Well,
Yeah, did you have Jack 10 suited?
no, I had Ace King off.
No, I don't have that one.
Okay, he limped in with pocket aces. Came to me.
I know
and-
which hand you're talking
It's
about.
5, 10,
yeah.
20.
Yeah,
Should I go through it?
sure. Yeah.
A bunch of people call. It's a very passive game. A lot of people limp. So he limped with pocket aces. He was the first one in the pot, and he limped in early position. He was 2 to my left, but I'm in the $20 straddle. It's 5, 10, 20. A bunch of people limp. Comes to me, I have Ace King off. I make just some huge oversized raise to 270. As I'd been doing like the whole show, I've been playing wild and with big bet sizings. I tend to like to make, in the games I play, at least given my competition, I like to make bets that are bigger than what would be considered standard. So I raised to 270 and only cash money he flat calls with aces. So he limped and flat called.
Yeah.
Came down Queen Jack X with 2 clubs. I had the ace of clubs. I had ace of clubs, king of spades. I think he had 2 red ace. He had 2 aces, whatever. Came Queen Jack X, two clubs. I bet 325 into I don't know, 600 or something. He calls. Turn came a third club, so I had the nut flush draw and still had the gut shot to a 10. And the pot was $1,300, and I just ripped it all in, not really realizing I had actually doubled up cash money. Well, somehow he had over $4,000. I didn't really realize he had quite that much. I thought I might have been making like a 2x pot shove, but he actually had more than I thought. So my jam was 4,000 into a $1,300 pot, and he had pocket aces. And he set this up beautifully. He just limped, called,
I think I've
flat
seen
called
this
the
in a
flop.
movie.
And then I just jammed 4,000 into 1,300. I don't think I've ever made an overbet of that magnitude before in my life. And
Usually
here,
it doesn't work out well.
yeah, well, in this case, he
Yeah.
somehow folded it and got very lucky there. I don't know how that came up though. Somehow, what we were talking about before this made it make sense for me to tell that story right now.
I don't know, we're talking about rounders and then
Yeah, rounders, running up a stake and going to Vegas. I don't know. Wayne,
know.
what's your favorite scene in rounders, Wayne?
we can't choose who we are. Our destiny chooses us.
Is that from Rounders?
Yeah, it's Martin Landau's. It's
Or is that
Professor.
Goodwill Hunting?
No, it's
I
Rounders.
get them confused. That's Rounders and not Goodwill Hunting?
Yeah.
Matt Damon's basically the same person in both of them,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Wayne recently told me there were 3 movies. So Matt Damon had signed a deal with Miramax
Yeah. Talented Mr. Ripley was the third one, I
to do
believe.
3 movies, and
Yeah.
those were the Rounders and Goodwill Hunting were 2 of them. The third one was The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah.
I watched the trailer. Wayne told me it sucked. I'm like, oh, I got to watch that because the other 2 are so amazing.
I just didn't feel it,
It-
but
the
it was
trailer
hugely
sucked.
critically acclaimed. Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talented
well,
Mr. Ripley is
you
hugely
said it sucked,
critically.
and I watched the trailer,
Yeah.
and I did not want to watch it at all.
And did you end up watching it?
No, I just the trailer, and then I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch this. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
but fun fact, there was 3
Like,
movies in
yeah.
a deal with Miramax that Matt Damon signed, and
Yeah, it's
those
very
were the-
common,
those were the
like,
3.
when you sign, like, new actors back then, that you sign a multi-picture deal because they have to build being a star.
Yeah,
Kinda
well, they must have believed in him to sign him to a 3-picture deal if he was a new actor.
Yeah, I mean, basically, when Good Will Hunting was being produced, they didn't want Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And
Oh, yeah.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Well, they wrote it,
Yeah, but
right, okay.
they
didn't want it.
they wanted whatever, Leo and Brad Pitt, and then yeah, and Matt Damon and Ben Affleck obviously wanted to do it, and they were getting out of the age range. So they're like, we got to get this going, And
Yeah.
then Gus Van Sant, Robin Williams.
Yeah, in those 2 movies, the 2 that we like,
Yeah.
forget about The Talented Mr. Ripley, but the other 2,
Yeah.
his co-stars are just like
Insane, yeah.
legends, yeah. So-
Even in Talented Mr. Ripley, it's Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Matt Damon couldn't have been was he a new actor? He must have
No,
seemed
no,
like an
no.
absolute prodigy for them to pair him with Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting
Well,
and Edward Norton and John Malkovich in Rounders.
none of those guys were only Robin Williams was the super big name because Edward Norton was just like he was good off Primal Fear, but he wasn't like a household name. John Malkovich, like being John Malkovich, whatever. But
Yeah.
um,
Which came out later, right? Or before?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Patrick, I don't remember.
That's okay, Wayne.
But Matt Damon was in like Mystic Pizza, Geronimo. He was in Kevin Smith movies. He's actually in like Chasing Amy as an extra.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah, when I went back and watched Chasing Amy, when they're looking for the tracers, I'm like, dude, there's Matt Damon. He's just like sitting there behind a table or
Really?
standing there behind a table. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, Kevin Smith. They asked Kevin Smith if he could direct Good Will Hunting, and then Kevin Smith's like, "No, he needed like a good director."
Really?
Yeah.
By the way, Edward Norton is
He's
like
awesome. Kevin's
he's
is
crazy
awesome, yeah.
talented. I don't know if you've ever seen an interview with Edward Norton. He like knows nothing about poker, doesn't give a shit about
Oh
poker.
yeah, and he's so good.
And he played that role like he'd been playing poker like his whole life.
Les Murphy.
Like,
Shout out to Les Murphy.
Shout out to Edward Norton and Les Murphy as Les Murphy. Like what a
AKA
role.
Worm, yeah.
But he's like
He's
a
so
true.
good,
I don't
yeah.
use this word ever, but like I saw him interviewed, and he is what I would call a total thespian. He just like is all about the art and craft of acting.
Yeah.
And So apparently he's insanely talented,
Yeah, I mean,
from what I
I
found
think
out.
Yale Theater, and his mom like passed away, so it gave him like extra motivation and just like,
He went
obviously,
there?
yeah. I think
Oh yeah, of course.
Fight Club, Primal Fear was huge.
Yeah. I saw Fight Club, but not Primal
The
Fear.
Illusionist, I believe. Incredible Hulk. Oh, he's got a movie he directed and starred in that I really like, but it's not critically acclaimed. It's called Keeping the Faith. It's he's a priest and Ben Stiller's a rabbi.
Okay.
And
It's comedy?
yeah, it's comedy. A little bit rom-com-ish, but I enjoyed that movie a lot, but it got critically panned.
I'll watch the trailer and
Okay.
determine if I want to watch it.
There's another good one that's Wedding Days, but anyway, like it's direct to DVD, but the movie's really good. Anyway,
Yeah.
Keeping the Faith is Ben Stiller and Edward Norton. They've known each other since they were kids, except Edward Norton's a priest and Ben Stiller's a rabbi. And there's this girl, obviously, that they grew up with, um, Jenna Elfman plays the adult, and then basically it's like a love triangle. They're trying to like,
Yeah.
but it's like it's comedic.
Very beta, brainwashing how to deal with women type of movie that makes them all pine for her because she's this like goddess. Like
Why you gotta go there? It was a good movie.
like every movie trains people to
Yeah,
think.
yeah. It's
But that's all I got to say about that.
shout to Forrest Gump. Yeah. No. Anyway, back to the thing is the Martin Landau scene when he's like, sit, have a drink, and
When they're drinking gin,
yeah, gin,
Which-
almost gin.
they're just I don't know, sipping gin straight, warm doesn't sound good to me. But he liked it in that movie. The professor in
Petrovsky.
Rounders.
Yeah. And
Petrovsky, the other Abe, involved in something poker related.
Abe Petrovsky. Yeah.
Yeah. We got our uncle, and then that Abe.
Yeah, the viewers miss out on a lot of our inside jokes that when we're off air, because I'm just like, this is too much
They
of a
actually dress
tangent.
very similarly.
Yeah.
Our Abe and that Abe.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Petrovsky.
Yeah, Petrovsky is the dude who loans Matt Damon 10K. What a degen. He borrows 10K from his law professor.
Michael, I'm not a rich man, but if it has to be tonight,
10 is the best I can do. He wanted 15.
yeah. Oh
Can you
man,
imagine asking a professor at school? Like, I don't care how close you are to your professor for that much money.
I've never asked for money, but there's been some pretty understanding professors in my life. Like,
I feel like if you're going to ask for money, go for just an insanely large amount. And then,
I mean,
it seems
10K in
like more
98,
normal.
10K in 98 probably is pretty high.
Yeah.
99 nowadays it's like whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, but back then,
So if you came to someone you knew on I don't know. It's a big amount to ask your professor for.
it was a different era back then because I remember like when I had certain professors that I felt like I had a good relationship with, and I'm asking for them. I was like terrified of just asking, and now I'm just like, why would I not ask for that? But it was a different era. It was like,
The worst I could say is no.
yeah, but then I felt like your relationship is kind of a little bit. If they say no and you develop like a good rapport,
Yeah.
then it would.
Were you in this similar position? I feel like maybe at some point.
No, this was different. I was taking English at UC Berkeley, and
How much did you ask your professor for?
it was Dr. Lucia Herman. She was a PhD student, and she said in the very beginning of the class, if you don't show up to the final, then you fail the class. There was an international tournament in South Korea.
Wouldn't that would be just like expected to me? Like if you don't show up to the final, you're gonna fail the class. Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know. I mean, those were the terms.
Oh, you wanted to get it moved
Yeah, just
because
moved
of a
earlier.
special circumstance where
Yeah.
you had some
I did get a move.
video game tournament in Korea.
South Korea. Yeah, it was an international tournament, and the esports is not what it is today. There were a lot of people who played it, but it doesn't have. And even today, the publicity is not like as mainstream as it probably will be in the future. But I was terrified, and I was just like,
To ask her to move it, or to ask her to
I-
let you
I
take
was-
it at a different time.
yeah, and I told her, I was like, there's like, because the thing is, I had talked to her about competing in StarCraft back then, and then I told her, I was like, there's an international tournament in South Korea, and I can't make it to the final. And then oh man, there's like a lot of stuff linked. She let me submit a draft of my screenplay and analyze it as my final exam. So there's like a double.
She hooked it up.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
How'd that tournament? So you went to South Korea for the tournament?
Yeah.
How did it go? Is that
Came in 5th place, and I was like unhappy with myself. That's
was Aoki there?
No, he was not.
Was he born
active.
yet? Okay.
He was a generation after me.
Yeah.
But just like, it was really grateful because other competitors in the future had asked their professors, "Oh, can I go to this tournament?" They're like, "F no."
Yeah.
So I just felt really grateful for that, and
so it's like one step below asking Damon asking Petrovsky for 10K.
Sure. I mean, like looking back, if you fail a college class, it's really not that big of a deal.
No, it's not.
So, but
I have experience. I may or may not have experience in that.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I said me too. Yeah. So that was like basically, and I've asked professors since then, and there's just like some professors, you just develop a rapport with them. Some professors hate you really bad,
Yeah.
and it's just,
I know.
whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
But wow, see, we could talk a long time. Let's get to the hands.
Okay.
Or do you want to show off this?
No, yeah, I just took it out of the wrapping, actually. Maybe there's less glare.
Speaking
Yeah.
of rapping, I'm just kidding. Hated to love it, the underdogs on top.
Speaking of rapping, we have Puya playing on Wednesday, who is a professional rapper. Rap artist.
I've seen his videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
and I've seen
his
him play
latest
poker.
one where he's like
No.
got blood on him and he's like in the Everglades, like up to his neck.
No, but I did see squints on Logic and Eminem.
Oh yeah, yeah. Latest Logic and Eminem music video called Homicide.
It's really
Chauncey, my boy Chauncey Leopardi, aka Squints from the Sandlot, plays Logic, and Chris D'Elia, the comedian, plays Eminem. And so it's like a really cool 8-minute video. It's like a little short film. It's really awesome. Check it out.
One of my favorite comedians, Chris.
Oh yeah, I know he's a lot of people's.
I don't even know how to
favorite comedian.
pronounce it because I remember pronouncing it how I thought it was, and Wino Poker got pissed.
It's so funny whenever I think Chris D'Elia
Yeah.
or hear his name, I think of Wino Poker also too. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think
she's a big fan
yeah,
of his, and like
she's always
I think
talking about Chris D'Elia.
I think I called it Chris Dealey or something.
Yes,
and then
I was watching that. Was she on this podcast with you?
No,
Okay, where were you guys talking about that?
I don't know,
remember.
but
I heard it.
she was like snap correcting me.
You were commentating again.
Oh, probably, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's snap cracking. I'm like, I just think it's funny, dude. Like, don't bite my head off. Just kidding. Shout out to Wino Poker. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
You know that 8 high like a boss hand I won, where I won an 8 high showdown?
you dedicate her.
I wasn't even, honestly, I wasn't even thinking about the Wino Poker hand.
I probably mentioned it. I tend to.
You did
Yeah.
in the middle of the hand. It was perfect.
Yeah.
I wish I had. Well, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. But yeah,
Me too. I wouldn't want you to lose that hand.
I was playing the ace-6 suited totally on my own recognizance, not having anything to do
Yeah,
with
well, I
Wino
mean-
Poker. But from now on, I'm gonna play the 8-6 suited, just like I played the Queen Deuce, because that's her hand.
Yeah.
And she's a big, prolific live at the bike player,
Yeah.
commentator, all that good stuff.
All that
So,
stuff.
We got the Queen Deuce.
Yeah. The
What's
6-8
up, Israeli
suited.
Ron, and then the 8-6 suited.
And
now,
JJ's
too.
got the pocket 8s.
JJ's got pocket 8s. Okay,
Ryan
we'll
Feldman's
go with
pocket
that.
3s.
Yeah, I know he likes
I have
threes.
just any 2 cards.
Ryan Feldman gets him with the 3s.
Yeah.
Big John has 3-6, 3-6
Okay.
Mafia.
Yeah.
That's his hand.
Yeah.
He plays it no matter what. Suited, I think he goes a little harder with it, but either or. Anybody else have any?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to try to make.
Joel loses kings a lot in the show.
Yeah.
Jerry's ace king suited for sure. Jerry loses with aces, and just ace king suited against aces and 8s.
Did he win it?
Yeah, he made a
When
flush on
was
2
that?
board's. It was against Harry and Colleen.
Oh, okay.
Who
That
Colleen
was a
Long's
little
going to
while
be
ago.
on PokerCraft.
You want to take this?
No, we're going to play the hands.
Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap up this part. But Wino Poker loves Keanu Reeves, and her favorite hand is 6-8. And Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. There was an ID check when future Bill and Ted and past Bill and Ted are just trying to figure out, are you really us? And he's like, what do you think? What number are you thinking? And they're like, 69, dudes. And they're like, oh, dude, it's us. So for Wino Poker, it'd be 68.
Okay, yeah, true.
Anyway, so let's get to.
Well, I think there's an Instagram called Wino Poker 69 you might want to check out.
Doesn't sound like one I want to check out, but go ahead.
It's related to Wino Poker. Someone else may have created it on her
Sounds
behalf.
like she didn't create that one.
No. It might have been the Poker Bros.
Oh, okay. If the Poker Bros created it, it's okay.
Wino Poker 69.
Yeah, okay. If it was some other guy, probably not. But, oh, yeah, people were wondering, this shirt is made by the Poker Bros, so go to pokerbros.shop. You can order it, and there's others like 6-9 of Hearts.
Other great shirts like 6-9 of Hearts. There's one that says knit.
Yeah.
Let's give them a little promo here.
Yeah.
There's one that says
Shout out to
fish.
Poker Bros, yeah.
Those are the ones I know. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. It was funny. There was a comment on a YouTube. The comments on the Live the Bike YouTube channel are just like pure comedy gold. Like,
Sure.
I've been talking about this for 2 years. I should finally do it. Like, I want to have the players like read mean comments or funny comments.
Yeah,
really,
that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're so funny. But there's this one video called Ramsey Goes For It Again.
Yeah.
It's from like several months ago. And he...
Because the one he bluffed Garrett, right?
No. This is where he tried to bluff Crazy Dave, and it didn't work. Dave tanked forever. Like, the ultimate scare card came on the river. Dave had a straight, but the board paired and a flush came in on the river.
Yeah.
And it was an ace. He had like Jack 9 on like King, Queen, 10, ace. Anyway, that wasn't the exact board, but the ultimate scare card came in, and Ramsey jammed 5K into a 5K pot. He was wearing the knit shirt while doing this.
Wow, that's awesome.
And Crazy Dave tanked for 5 minutes and called it. It
was like a leveling.
It would have worked against a lot of players.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like the perfect card to do it. And Dave's straight became like a very difficult call.
Did he pull the bet back and say, I make a joke bet? He's like, I mean, that would have been bad if he did that bet and he had this shirt.
The funny thing is it was all in a rack with joke bet, and it like slides. Like, you don't see a bet like that from very many people, period. And then to pull it back, it was all in the rack, so it was just easy to pull back. And Johnny Vibes and his brother were commentating that too. You know that? And that table was stacked. Like, this is all the things I was realizing when I was rewatching it. Like, Key Lee was at that table, who's my boy. Shout out to Key. What's
Shout
up,
out
man?
to Key, yeah.
Great player. Garrett, Dan Zach. Well, no. It was just, I don't know. Key, Garrett, and Ryan were at the table. But just having Key and Garrett there makes it a stacked table. But yeah, that was funny. Funny as heck. And then Johnny Vibes and his brother did a great job commentating. Johnny Vibes is a underrated commentator. He does a good job. They did a good job of like letting the scene play out. And then like I was doing graphics. Me and Brian Arkaki, the cameraman / director on this show, the production on that joke bet hand was just perfect. Like with how fast the action happened, I did the graphics like instantaneously. So like there was no question like what the action was because I was just going off what I saw on the screen. He bet, snap call by Feldman. Right? He checked a full house on the river. And the graphics are just right on time. Like there was no question
joking.
What happened.
Yeah, no joking.
No jokes about it. I mean, there was joking, but
not with the graphics.
Johnny and his brother Andrew were commentating that, and they did a great job. Like the production our best production came on the joke bet hand, which is funny.
Yeah, no joking. All right, let's get to your hands. We got a lot of above the rim plays.
All right, we have to sit through intros, don't we? Look at them all. They're drinking O'Doul's there, by the way, because Wino Poker was doing her no alcohol month.
Ooh, well, look at all these hands. Ramsey. Oh, wow.
This was might have been the most fun I've ever had playing poker in this game. Los Pollos TV, who brought a crazy audience to the game, big audience, and they were. Can we turn the song up? Can they hear the music? Okay, never mind.
Guys, the Weezy and Wayne show. We got all-star lineup.
Do you want to seek forward, like?
Off. We got Wino Poker, Big Al, Patrick Curran, our graphics dude.
There he is.
I inserted
Patrick Curran wearing the broke sweatshirt.
Seat
I just
5
inserted
Dennis,
that audio, like,
Jamie, seat
so
4.
people knew
Seat
who I
3's Ramsey, Los
Yeah, we're just
Pollos
taking a
TV,
trip down memory
seat 2.
lane.
And seat 1, we
Let's
got
enjoy the
Mamacita.
Knitfish said best commentators, best lineup. I agree.
Shout out to Nitfish.
These are the graphics that
I saw
are
some of them.
lock lights, so you
Mamacita
know
won a
exactly
pretty
who
decent
is
sized
who.
tournament.
Let's see at the end.
Oh, shout out to who is who.
Yeah.
I see in the YouTube chat says, wow, this is like the best live at the bike show
They
ever.
can't see us, right?
I feel like this
No.
is our best Weezy and
I
Wayne
wonder
show.
if Ryan's
Moving on
doing
top.
it.
Ernesto
You
Leo
don't
said
have to
this
take
is
off
the
your shirt.
Mamacita effect, yes.
I'll put it back on. when we come
Mamacita
back.
making poker.
All right, dude.
Like,
Patrick Curran,
Mamacita
King
3
Jack of
betting 5s
Diamonds.
against Patrick.
I'm suited, and
King
it's
Jack
two
of
big
Diamonds.
cards.
Patrick's
Yeah.
call.
Mama C at 3 bets on the button.
I'm not folding to a 3-bet. Obviously.
It's only one jack.
Graphics are wrong. We'll back it up here in a second. Ryan Feldman was on graphics here. It's his fault. No, I'm kidding. The burn card hit the sensor. That's what happened.
Right.
So the dealer was being lazy.
I'll blame it on Magic.
Awesome dealer, actually.
And Los Pollos TV wearing black pink in your area.
Yeah, we got Los Pollos TV here, not in the hand, wearing a white and black Nike tennis jacket, it appears. I think I had something like that in 1992.
That's like the Andre Agassi, like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might actually be. All right, what happened here?
When jokes get too real.
So she is out of position, so she leads with
No,
the 5s.
you're out of position. You
No,
check.
Oh.
She's the button.
Oh, okay, I checked.
You
Okay,
check.
I'm channeling Art Papazian here in this hand. I was
Right.
literally thinking like, I'm just gonna check call. I'm just gonna check play and flow and let the aggressor do whatever she wants to do.
She's like,
In her defense, she drank a lot of alcohol. She was drinking a lot this day, and I wasn't drinking at all.
mm-hmm.
But looking back, obviously, she just decided to go for it on this hand.
She went for broke.
Yeah. And I don't know, I probably got a live read. And I had a good hand. So
Went for broke. Nice one.
I tried to go broke. But at this point, on a deuce river, which ends up coming, I'm not folding. So I called her. This is the fastest snap call probably ever. And then she grimaced when I made the snap call, so I just turned my hand over. I didn't even know what she had until later after the game.
Patrick's jack is still good.
So this just didn't actually. We have breaking news here on Live at the
I tried to, on the flop and turn, actually, like, feign like I was scared or confused or didn't know where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
So to try to
Basically, you just
Kinda
try to trick her
induces.
like any other guy trying to ask out a girl.
something like that. But yeah, quickest snap call in the history of snap calls.
And there was Patrick Curran's debut on the hand of the day, and also the show as well, right?
Yeah, this is my first time ever playing on the show after working there for like a year and 8 months at that point. After watching all these hands and doing all these videos and watching and listening to so much poker and commentary,
Yeah.
it's helped my game. Like I feel like I kind of know almost know what I'm doing in cash games.
And this
now.
is not a plug for Live at the Bike for sure.
No,
I'm just kidding. No, I'm serious. It is a really amazing resource. Like,
it is. It's going to be hard for anyone to watch it as closely as I have because it's part of my job to like rewatch it. Like I'm literally going through like for the video today, for example, JJ's commentary. I'm going through it word by word, adjusting the levels and listening to what he has to say as a professional poker player.
so here you raise and cut off, and Israeli Ron defends.
You picked this hand? Ha! This is funny. He straddled. The commentators didn't really get this right or notice what happened. It was hard. It's hard to tell, but he straddled to like 40. I think it was 5, 10, 20 in this, and he straddled to 40. And so he called my raise. Oh, he told me, you couldn't hear this in the video, but he told me he called blind.
Oh, okay.
So I can almost, I discounted him having an ace because of that.
Yeah. This is why.
Pre-flop, he called blind, so I don't put him on a. So I'm just going to take aces out of his range. If he has a good, that's extremely fortunate for a blind hand to get an ace and have 2 aces flop.
Sure.
So I know he doesn't have a super strong hand.
But he did have 3 pair.
He did. I'm glad he wasn't one of those people that thought, I feel like sometimes when people make 3 pair, they'll still call because they have, obviously not high-level players, but they'll still call with 3 pair because it's 3 pair.
And then you move all in, and Israeli Ron,
Yeah.
Iron Q2,
I think
hashtag
he'd
like
fold,
a boss.
I figured he'd fold. I mean, I wasn't even nervous about this jam because I knew he'd fold.
I could tell. On the surface, you look calm and ready.
Yeah. My knees weren't weak and arms were not heavy.
Mom's spaghetti.
Spaghetti's my favorite food. I haven't had it in a while. Maybe I should have some tonight.
They do not have it at the bike.
So, they don't?
No.
I wouldn't want to have it sitting at a poker table anyway. That'll just turn straight fat.
I'm just kidding. I think they do have it. I think it might be angel hair or something.
Being sedentary and eating for long periods of time and eating spaghetti is not a good combination. So yeah, he folds. So basically, the whole reason this works is because he called blind pre-flop.
Okay. See, that's why this stuff is good to hear the players talk about it.
Now after this video came out on YouTube of me doing this a lot, this type of play a lot, my image is blown, so I don't. It's gonna be harder to pull that off.
Oh,
It's
welcome to the club.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a leveling war in my own head. I'm like, if I jam, will he just call me? What's up, Asian Andy? In the chat. See you on Wednesday, man. Click on Asian Andy. Right click on his icon right now and open his channel in another tab, and then watch it after this podcast.
So Israeli Ron looks like there must be a straddle, right?
Yeah, and Ron limped the button with Ace Queen.
And
Johnny Vibes has some funny commentary in this hand. He's like, there's been a lot of professionals mixing this limping buttons into their play. He's like, but I wouldn't do it with a hand as strong as Ace Queen or this deep. But nonetheless, professionals are limping buttons, just not with this hand or this deep. I have yet to see the professionals limping buttons on Live at the Bike. Maybe you can try it tomorrow, Johnny, if you're listening, in the ante-game. I want to see you limp buttons.
#pro.
Open limp buttons, that is. Although it's like never going to fold to you on the button in the ante-game, so probably won't even get a chance.
So Patrick C-bets, Israeli Ron calls in position. Patrick picks up a diamond draw.
I has flush draw. So here I'm trying to make it look like I'm unsure. Well, I'm not really moving, so I don't know. But I want him to think, I'm not sure what to do here. Should I keep continuation betting? Did I miss? Look at my stack. Okay, I'm going to grab some chips. Oh, I'm too scared, and I think better of it and decide to check instead. That's what I'm trying to convey. So, yeah, I don't know. In my head, that's the stuff I'm trying to convey and give off to my opponents. I don't know if that's actually happening. I'm like acting.
We never know. We need all players just to like say.
Yeah.
What was
and here I have
mind.
a flush draw, and I play it like I had a monster the whole time. Like I would do that with aces.
So you check and raise.
Yeah.
And
because I have a flush draw, I think I can get him to fold. Like Johnny in the commentary. I know it's in real time, so you don't have I have had like months to think about this, but I think I could get him to fold a king. Johnny said he didn't think he would fold a king, but I think he would. But I don't know. It depends on what king, and sometimes Ron can get stubborn. I don't know. I think I repped like aces basically. Basically every hand on the show I repped aces, and it worked every time.
We have this convo like when you have a no limit career, especially a big bet game. You got to last the first year, then the 5th year, then the 10th year, and then beyond. Like, you know, what you do the first year is not necessarily sustainable.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, we'll see if I'm around in 5 years.
You'll be around, but like, just you have to
be a professional
adjust.
poker player.
Yeah, but everyone just has to adjust after their image.
Although, yeah, I mean, I would play more poker if I can play well. I don't know. I'm trying to get better. I have a lot of holes in my game, but I have decent instincts, so maybe I can plug those holes, those leaks.
I run with this fofo.
Definitely helps watching Live at the Bike.
Oh yeah.
Talking to people like JJ, Dan Zach,
Yeah.
Feldman, Wayne Chung, Wheeze, Asian Andy,
Bart Hansen.
Johnny Vibes.
Johnny Vibes,
actually.
yeah.
I helped Johnny Vibes out on a few of his vlogs during his Embrace the Grind series, and I learned a lot from that too because I was doing his hand histories, some of them for him. So I was like listening very closely to how he was breaking down hands. His vlog's really good for free cash game instruction. He really goes into detail about how and why he makes cash game decisions.
And he's played on multiple shows in Live at the Bike and just done above the rim.
Yeah, he's played very well. Sometimes he runs into a buzzsaw named Francisco. But most of the time he's making great decisions. Sometimes he just gets unlucky.
So it's...
Oh, you're going to play a hand I actually lost. I want to
Limps.
show the hands I lose.
Well, that's what happens on the show. You win. We show...
I'm kidding. Yeah. I did not include this in the YouTube video.
We got to balance the hands, you know.
Yeah. I double up. Oh, it's this hand. Sorry, I lost a hand in this game with King 8 of Spades to cash money, which is how he ended up having so many chips when I jammed on him when he had aces later. because I doubled him up once. You're showing this hand. Come on, this is not.
Well, I mean, we got to teach the viewers how to play King 8 of Spades.
I think Ron thought it was aces because you know how they're like
You're
they're
repping
pointy.
aces every hand.
No, he thought he had aces because
Oh.
you know how they're pointy like aces. You
Yeah,
know when you
like
look at ace
crooked.
4 and you're like,
Yeah,
damn
40,
it.
45 degrees.
Yeah, I was
Aces.
so close. Because I think I think I went all.
We're just
Oh,
trying.
he stacked off here. I think he thought he had aces, is what it was.
We're trying to get point of views of the players in a wide variety of hands.
Yeah. I'm sure Ron's psyched that you showed this hand.
Ron's okay.
I love Ron.
Ron's awesome. His son is
Can't wait to next time I see you, Ron.
yeah, and his son's in the police force, and his boss was like, "Does your dad play poker?"
Really?
Yeah. He showed me the text. It's awesome.
Does he play Queen Deuce whenever he gets it dealt to him? I do too. I play Queen Deuce every time.
And then Ron texted me, he's like, #famous. That's true.
Yeah, Ron was in Israel. I mean, I guess he should be. He was in Israel and getting recognized. For
Yeah,
for
just
poker.
getting high fives everywhere. I mean, yeah, it's.
Getting mobbed.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my.
And that wasn't even in a casino.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, getting a lot of people in poker get recognized in a casino, but outside is a different story.
Yeah.
Which hand is this? Ace 8 of spades or no? I don't even remember this hand.
You love Jack 10. Well, this is taking a trip down memory lane.
I think I limped from
Limped around.
I'm in the middle blind of a 5, 10, 20. Of course, I'm completing with 10 Jack. I don't remember this hand. Did I win?
Really?
Oh no, dude.
No.
Okay. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Are you sure
you
you
gotta
watched?
lose? You gotta lose some hands. I know what happens this hand. but
Oh, okay.
you gotta
It's
lose
not
some
an interesting
hands.
hand.
I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
Trouble.
Bernie's gonna bet ace
Oh,
10.
I called 60 with the gutter and middle pair.
Bernie with the piece as well. Pretty small pot so far. $60 in on the flop.
Bernie is now known as Cash Money with a K, by the way. He's the one I played the 8 high like a boss hand against,
Yeah.
and the one I bluffed off aces. Really fun guy to have at the table.
Actually, this might be the most strategic to discuss, period, out of all the hands. Like, the other ones, you just have, like, 7 deuce, and you're like, bluffing and stuff like that.
Big Al wants to
It's
Yeah.
not really.
know that he's down.
That's more of a,
This would probably be a fold, or
Big Al. We heard him talking into the mic.
do I call it though?
you
Yeah.
call, and then the river.
It's a questionable call.
Instead of 100.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because you don't.
Against some people, like they could. I don't know. I block draws. I block
You're going to see a check a lot of the time.
block straights, but I also block King Jack.
So
which-
your river 2 pair, J-Dub's set is good,
Gonna go for
and
it.
he value
Three bet,
bets
205.
into you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And now I have 2 pair.
Yeah.
Patrick here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just
This J-Dub is bluffing with any freak.
an interesting value bet. He got thin value.
Yeah, I mean, these are the more interesting hands. The other ones where
Yeah.
you're just bluffing people out is just like.
No, I know. It's-
Yeah.
That was a funny hand because, like, I don't know. That's not a guy I would expect to go for thin value.
So he got you.
Yeah, I got
Got.
by J-Dub.
Shout out to J-Dub.
What's up, J-Dub?
J-Dub.
I'm sure he's tuned in as well.
We got a lot of homies. I'll shout them out after the hands.
This is Big Al's crew. Another fun group of people to play with.
His whole crew makes G's. So
Here we're playing GTO.
Like, who do you think is the 7 deuce master on the show? Like, you're definitely up there.
I mean, I
It's-
play it every time I get it, but
You and Candy are definitely the ones that come to mind.
really, for me, it's Gil the plumber.
Oh yeah, Gil the plumber too. So you guys are top 3. Shout out to Gil
Yeah.
the plumber. He was in
Gil
the chat.
inspired me to do it. I didn't. Yeah, he's the one I'm aware of that plays 7 deuce all the time. Candy doesn't play 7 deuce every time, does she?
Dude, she was on fire one show. She just like was value betting and bluffing people out. It was insane.
It's a good flop for me.
Rocket on the air.
They don't have a ton of 9s. Actually, Edwin is in the 3rd blind.
Go straight to live as black.
So Vince has a
Edwin could. I don't know. I'm gonna bet and see what happens.
yeah. I mean, you have the best mate hand.
Yeah. Decent flop. It's hard to flop a pair. It's hard to make a hand and no limit hold 'em.
C is for cookies. Cookie, not for me.
I used to watch Sesame Street. All right.
And Edwin's got the nut flush draw. You are a small favorite.
No, Edwin folded. Vince has a nut flush draw.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But that's okay. We know what you meant.
Shout out to Vinny Chase.
Jack Queen of Diamonds. I mean, he couldn't
Yeah.
call there, but he would have had a
Yeah,
nice,
backdoor.
nice turn.
So good thing you bet the flop. You know, get value out of
Yeah,
your
of course. I'm not going to check back.
7. Well, I mean, your kicker kind of
What
sucks.
do I look like?
Some people might be worried about a kicker there.
I know. I am
And
not
you
one
just
of those people.
jam it. You bet 800
It just
into
seemed like he probably had a flush draw.
about
Or I
600.
doubt he had a king, so even if he had a pair, I could probably rep ace king.
Good job. A nice sweatshirt. You vibing.
Yeah. I got the
You got that.
Johnny Vibes hooked that up for me. Johnny Vibes had a new vlog come out today. It was really, really good. Sick opening and yeah, pretty epic. Some drone time
Is
lapses.
the was it the TJ
By the way,
one?
that's Raver Poker on the left there.
Oh,
He's going
okay.
to be in the game on Wednesday. He enjoys raves apparently, and is also a computer wizard. He just helped me build a new computer, a Hackintosh, but we won't get into that.
Hackintosh.
Yeah.
Nice. So here is you're going by Wino Patrick.
Yeah, I figured for the Instagram game, I thought of that as a joke before, like, oh, I'm going to make an Instagram called Wino Patrick.
Yeah.
Just because it sounds like Wino Poker.
Yeah.
But obviously I wasn't going to waste the time doing that. But you know what? I felt I was going to drink with the player, with everyone on this show, so I thought this is a good time. They're using Instagram handles.
Yeah.
She's known for her Instagram.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
IG.
And she's a homie and a Live at the Bike, one of the legends of Live at the Bike.
For sure.
I'm a big fan of Wino Poker.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
WP Wino Poker. Well played.
Oh my God, I can't believe that WP stands for both of those things. That's incredible.
Hashtag mind blown.
Unreal.
I swear we're not high. We're not drunk. We're just, this is how we do it, like Montel Jordan.
Oh yeah, I think I double up. I think his name's Jesse. I know. I hung out with him that night, but yeah. There's my Occupy Mars shirt. My brother just got a job at SpaceX, and
Sick.
and he got some swag for me. So that's where the Occupy Mars came from.
Did he meet Elon Musk? So, wow, you got
No, but Elon Musk walked right by him when he was in there for the first interview.
sick. And you got snapped,
Yeah,
and it's a flip.
is it? It almost is. Chop. Eight. Oh man. Yeah, I had a flush draw. We're not that deep. Screw it.
Those glasses are very meta.
Yeah, Raver Poker, a.k.a. Kyle, is very excited to play on Live at the Bike on Wednesday, as am I. It'll be his second time playing. Okay, this isn't the hand where. So Raver Poker likes to attend raves, and he also likes to fold ace-king suited pre-flop to my 4-bets with ace-queen suited. But let's not do that Wednesday, Kyle. Well, against me you can, but... Oh, this was just a magical... This was a magical run out.
Magical moment.
Yeah. Sometimes I run like Garrett on Live at the Bike. It's weird. Like this shit doesn't happen to me on regular tables. I mean,
Sometimes I rhyme
I
bad,
did make
sometimes
quads.
I rhyme sick.
twice in a session recently. But that was super rare. I haven't made quads in years, I don't think. But I made quads twice in a session. But I actually didn't show down the last quads. I mucked it, and I would have got a high hand bonus for $550.
Yeah.
But I put it in the muck because I didn't think about it wasn't really on my radar to get the high hand bonus. All right, so we flop a gut shot.
Great White Buffalo has 2 chicks at the same time.
Yeah. I 3-bet. He called. Flop comes down like this. And he checks back. I do not like his check back there very much.
Ooh, and you just bing
But the turn just came like the card.
the card.
The miracle card. That was cool. Can't believe that 2-outer came. Can't believe what fell.
Well, you could hit a king or ace too.
That's true. But this way, I got his whole stack.
Stacks of high society.
I need to, next time I'm on the show, well, it probably won't be for like a year, but I'm going to cut these down so we don't have to wait between hands.
Next time you're on the show is Wednesday.
No, next time I'm on this
Oh, PokerCraft. Yeah.
this podcast, yeah. Because we're like waiting for the time between decisions, I feel like.
Well, this is the thing. Like, during the live stream, there's like not enough time to talk, and it's why I clip these hands is so people can talk about the hands and just have their opinions and just
Yeah,
that's
true.
the time is on purpose.
Got you. There's just not a lot of strategy to this hand. I has ace king. I check that. I
You
feel
could
like I play. Sorry, I was about to say a very fish thing and say I hate ace king. I actually love ace king,
Yeah.
but sometimes I totally misplay it. But I feel like that was a good flop for me to check. What do you think? Jack 10-8 rainbow, no spade is a good flop for me to check after 3-betting pre-flop.
You mean when it's turn? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The flop.
I mean, yeah.
Basically, flop play with ace king when you miss is complicated to me. And
A lot
that
has to
seemed
do
like
with player history, yeah.
That seemed like a texture, to use a poker term. I'm doing air quotes right now.
Yeah.
A board texture that warranted a check
I mean, it
at a high frequency.
it has to do with your opponent's aggression too, because if your opponent doesn't have many check raises,
I don't know anything about this opponent, so I'm just playing against, like, say, a generic opponent.
I think at these stakes and lower stakes, like it's less likely to get jammed on. So I'm not against a c bet on
On
in
that
mid
flop.
stakes and low stakes,
Yeah,
but it
that's true.
checks
I have
fine.
2 overs
Checks
and a
fine
gut.
too. Yeah.
Right, you can do either, I guess. I have
It's,
2
you could
overs
do
and a
either,
gut shot.
but like what you really don't want to do is c bet against highly aggressive opponents.
We got to work on that green crap showing up there.
Okay,
That doesn't look good on this. Anyway.
it's a glitch in the matrix.
Okay, this is a high like a boss.
It's really hard when the screen blacks out or the cards black out and I have to make stuff up. It's very difficult.
When does that happen?
It's happened a couple times.
During the show?
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't there one show?
Weez and
Where
I
you
had,
lost
like,
hole
no
cards?
Yeah, Weez and I had no hole cards the entire show, and there's one show, like, for 45 minutes, there was, like, nothing. It's just me talking trash.
You and Weez?
No, just me.
Oh, there's another. But for you and Weez,
That
there
was no hole cards.
The whole
yeah.
show for a
The whole
4-hour show.
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
Hey, if it's going to happen.
Good thing you and
Yeah.
with you and Weez in there, you could keep it entertaining and funny.
Gotta
I mean, you just
keep
turn
them
it into a podcast.
entertaining. Yeah. And Wino Patrick with 8-6 suited.
I raised pre. These guys don't know how aggro I'm playing, so I'm just like. I mean, 8-6 suited in the cutoffs. I mean, the hijack is not a. Depending on the table, it's a fine open at this table, I think. Then I flopped a gut shot, so I c-bet.
Yeah.
Cash money flopped a double gutter.
Yeah.
I would have folded pre if I were him, but it's more fun that he didn't fold pre.
See if Patrick can pull the trigger and price out cash money.
So look, he's thinking right there. He's like, oh, he checked. Oh, I guess I'll bet now. That was what his like live read gave off.
And
I
you're
just
Oh my.
I blacked out for a minute and I ended up snap shoving. Kind of like Will Ferrell in old school when he gives the epic debate.
and you just like slam it like 8 high.
Yeah.
And Cash Money's like 7 high, and then you're LOL.
And Al with the side commentary going nuts, which I love. Every time something wild happens, Al's going crazy.
It was money.
You keep saying the exact same things you said in the commentary.
Damn it.
Coincidentally.
That's how you know you're getting old.
You're not that old.
Come on, let's just say that Patrick had a soul read and he knew his.
I did have a soul read. I didn't necessarily. I thought there actually was a chance my hand was good, but that was just way, way, way in the back of my mind. Like, he just looked like he realized I had checked and decided to bluff. That's what
This
it looked
like outplay you this hand.
Yeah,
And then,
essentially.
all
This
right,
hand
let's
right now.
let's shout out to the chat. We got Melanie Hilo, Otis, New York. What else we got in this mix? Ernesto Leitao. What's up, guys? We had Jada DeGarzi earlier. We had Gil the Plumber earlier. Wisco Inferno, a.k.a. Wisco Baron. Weez was in the mix.
Yep. Shout out to JJ and his commentary on the High Stakes Fridays.
Yeah.
He's killing it, bro. using all the good poker terms, blockers. He talks about blockers a lot, and I love it. People point that out in the comments of the YouTube videos. They think blockers are overrated. They're not, kids. Blockers are everything.
I don't know the context. I mean, sometimes, but I don't know. It's
Basically, if you have a club and there's two clubs on board, your opponent's less likely to have a club draw,
sure.
and that is a
Especially-
big top.
Yeah, especially if you have a high club. You can find them with that club.
It's blocker doesn't mean it's 100%. It means it
yeah,
reduces
it
the probability.
influences. Yeah,
It just reduces the percentage chance that they have a card containing whatever you're blocking.
right, and it influences strategy. Like one of the hands that Andy and Bill Klein had, Doug Polk brought out an important point, which is like Andy had, I think, 2 aces, but because of the aces he had, the flop was like 8 deuce deuce. Because of the aces he had, it was impossible for the other guy to have ace deuce suited. Both combos ace deuce suited.
Did
Because
Bill Klein end up catching a jack?
I think he had 9s and he rivered a 9.
Oh, okay.
And Andy was just like, Bill Klein's sick, dude. He got Andy to pay off and he bluffed out Garrett in like very similar.
No, he bluffed Jackie off Pocket Kings pre-flop.
Oh, that too. So he's got everyone.
That was nuts.
Um,
That same game where Jackie won a 439K pot, he folded Kings pre-flop to like a 5. Was it a 5 bet from Bill Klein?
right.
Klein
It was like a
had-
back 5 bet.
Klein had jacks. Yeah, Garrett had raised. Bill flatted.
Yeah.
Jackie 3-bet Kings. Garrett 4-bet Ace 3 of diamonds.
And Bill Klein's
Bill
like,
5-bet Jacks.
I'm gonna outplay him this hand. I'm all in.
It wasn't all in. They
I'm
were
just kidding.
heavy 6 figures deep,
What's up, Peter Kim,
which is insane that people play poker.
Asian Andy, Tater Chip, PS Shakes. What's we got in the mix? You're 45 thumbs up.
I think I said
6.
45 viewers. I was gonna fist pump.
No, 45. That's. Hey, we're lucky to have any viewer.
Wearing the 4-5, not to play games with you.
I like. I don't know anything about sports, and then like during one of the graveyard shifts, I said like, "Oh yeah, Jordan like the 4-5," and then one guy's like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "It's in a Jay Z song."
Yeah, of course.
But no, but
He
like,
should know that.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't
It's his
put
bad.
2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you gotta. Maybe if I didn't know you and I heard you say one of these references right off the
To
bat,
sports athletes.
I wouldn't know. No,
Oh, no,
you,
but-
you just drop these hip hop references all the time.
Yeah, I like the subtle ones where I just put it in like normal speech, and then like somebody laughs on the side. And
I like the
I'm
rounders
yeah.
ones in commentary
Yeah,
that are super like subtle.
I try.
I found some real gems like watching the hands back.
That you didn't notice the first time around.
Yeah, because they were so obscure. The lines are so obscure from the movie that like
But then how do you see it, or how do you recognize?
when I'm watching it back, like
Oh, then
trying to
you-
make a YouTube video or
Yeah.
something, then I notice it.
Joey Aragon lives?
Yeah, he's a big supporter. What's up, Joey?
Yeah.
Thanks for subbing to my YouTube channel. I saw that you just subbed to my YouTube channel.
Twitch chat. We have N2.
Someday I aspire to do YouTube myself. But you're subscribing to my channel where there's no content coming out for the foreseeable future. But I should do YouTube, and I want to. I just don't know what to talk about. I'm not like good enough at poker. Were you about to shout out N2 Deep LA?
Yeah, and then you
Okay.
just like rudely interrupted me.
Well, I mean, sorry.
Sorry,
Go
Andrew.
ahead. Andrew, I remember you.
Yeah.
You're awesome on Live at the Bike. What's up?
So for the Twitch chat, for some of the regs, we got a surprise for you coming up. We'll get to that. So N2 Deep LA, True Ninja 858, Mad Benjamin, Sandy Joy, thanks, Watt Bry, aka Brian Watson.
I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on Twitch.
I love my Twitch.
I'm fully immersed in YouTube.
I love my Twitch. I'm just opening up and just, just started there.
Yeah. So everyone tune in Wednesday
Yes.
for 5-5 no limit hold'em. I know it's not big stakes, but maybe it's a game that you play sometimes, you the viewer. And yeah, I'm going to mix it up with the people I mentioned earlier. But just to remind you, Asian Andy, rap artist Puya, Chauncey Leopardi, a.k.a. Squints from
Squints.
The Sandlot,
Yeah.
a.k.a. plays Logic in the latest Eminem Logic music video for the song Homicide. Mamacita, Mamacita's World. Bree of Breezy and the Wayne, Bree Asmar. Raver Kyle. I won't say his real name anymore. You're Raver Kyle, like Madonna. Just one name from now on. Raver Kyle. Joe Rosenblum. I'm not giving any info on Joe. He's a film editor. I saw him play a hilarious sequence of hands when we were at the same table. That same session, I made quads twice. I actually made
Twice.
I actually made quads against Joe. I had known him from playing together before, but I made quads against him, and I just bet it every street, and he called the first two streets it was King, King, Jack on the flop. I had pocket kings. You can put your hands down. I'll get to the rest of the lineup.
Oh, there's two more people.
Big Al.
Okay.
And
You know the last one very well.
I thought I named them all.
It's you.
Oh, I was thinking that, and I didn't say it because you're holding 7 fingers. You were holding 7 fingers up, so there would be an 8th one.
No, I have 8 fingers.
I don't know why I just did that. So.
Because we can't.
Oh, Joe Rosenblum. He played too sick. He played a very action. He was very actiony at the table I played with him. But I had the quad kings against him. Bet flop on King, King, Jack. He had a jack, I guess. Bet turn, he called. Bet river, he folded, and I just put my quads in the muck. And I would have won a $550 high hand.
That's why you show your hands. No?
Yeah, I know. I didn't want, I don't know. I just didn't want to give away any information, like how I was playing the hand.
All right, up to you. I kind of like $550.
Well, yeah, I wasn't thinking about it because I'm not some donk who plays for bad beat jackpots and high hand bonuses. I'm just thinking about the hand.
Adds to your
hourly.
hourly.
Yeah, I know. But I wasn't thinking about it. I don't know. I don't play I don't play for a living, so
Okay.
didn't know. But now I'll always be playing for the high hand. I do like to talk about the bad beat jackpot once an orbit at least.
Mm-hmm. To remind people to make sure they've turned.
No, I just like to talk about it because the odds of it coming are just so high.
Yeah, let's give them something to talk about.
That's a song, right?
Yes. All right, guys. Patrick Curran. Oh, and Johnny Vibe's commentating on Wednesday, and he's playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
On Tuesday. So, Patrick Curran, we get to get your inside scoop. I keep mentioning, and this is definitely dedicated.
Thank you for everyone who watches
and subscribes.
Appreciate that. Yeah, watches our YouTube videos.
And
subscribes to the website, the YouTube channel. But I'm talking about YouTube right now. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe and like this, like that, and this, and that, like that, like this.
Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already.
Yeah.
Click the bell icon to get notifications when we go live or post highlight videos.
And I hope you have a good time on Joe Rogan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Don't forget me live at the bike after your big time on the Joe Rogan
Okay. Yeah.
show.
All right, I will. All right, one more time. Smash that subscribe button. Click the bell icon to get notifications when we go live or post highlights. And I'll see you on Wednesday.
Peace out. PokerCraft every Monday, 6 p.m. Later, guys.